I'm not gonna run ads, dude. It's not enough money. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Why the fuck would I do that?
Because you're a goddamn capitalist. Okay, where's your shit-ass fucking video?
Dude, we don't have to watch it.
I want to watch it. I'm ready to go into this. Okay, I'm at the start. Let me know when you're ready.
Oh, fuck. So many people were like... Okay. Where is it?
Where's what?
All right, are we starting at the same time or something?
We're starting at 000.
Oh, Jesus Christ. We're going to do that. We're going to do that, and we're just going to pause it
Set
together
it to times 2 speed. Yeah, that's what we're going to do.
Yeah. Of course, dude.
Okay.
Of course.
Ready?
I always watch things at times 2 speed. Anyway, yeah. No, I'm ready, dude. Freaking ready.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
So is Richard Lewis in the Discord, or what's up? Oh, he DM'd me too. Hi, let's talk. Is this Richard Lewis? I don't know if this is him. Or if
Why is it so fucking quiet?
How do I figure out when they... Because I want to, like, put... I mean, I guess we could, like, immediately throw him out of the channel if we want to, right? God, I gotta pee so bad. Okay. It's also 7:37. Hello? Wait, am I muted? What's going on, dude? Is this Richard Lewis? Hello? Hello? Oh, I'm muted. Sorry. Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. Someone sent me one of your videos that I was looking at on Twitch. I'm gonna go ahead and say maybe it's a little misguided. Maybe I'm incorrect. Maybe.
Yeah, well,
Oh, you were watching?
yeah, it might be someone linked to it. You know how it is.
Matt Chrisman is extremely drunk and is having a meltdown on the Chapo stream.
Internet blood sport, I think
It's glorious.
Okay, well, first of all,
Call
you
into
can't
the
use
stream.
Please don't use R word, because again, we're on the, you can't use.
Let me
things
tweak
that-
the mic.
you can't, no. What? I put it up higher.
Oh, okay.
But,
I
stopped what I was gonna say it. is you can't use.
Why? I'm still listening. I'm at 137. What?
You said something. All right, 137.
Okay, hurry up. Hasan's audio on his stream is really quiet, usually, Destiny. God damn it. All right, I'm at 137.
No, people can hear your voice like perfectly fine. Here, I'm at 139, so it's fine. Let's just
Okay.
Here you go. Service.
3, 2, 1 go.
Another testament to privatization of tyranny.
started.
The fact that we
All
don't necessarily have free speech. Any of the places. But,
actually,
in any
does
case-
that actually matter to you? I'm intrigued. Are you like a free speech absolutist? Would that be a fair summary of your position?
No, I don't think free speech absolutism is a real
Yeah.
thing. It's a meme. I think that American understanding of freedom of speech is the American understanding of free speech is more expansive. It encompasses hate speech. Majority of Western developed nations don't have that same restriction, but all manner of speech has restrictions on it. Obviously, inciting violence is a restriction.
Wait,
on free
stop.
Speech. There are plenty of
Great.
so these are all
Yeah.
restrictions on
Oh, fuck. Oh, yeah. Go on. Sorry. What's up?
What time are you at?
229.
Okay, I'm at 222. Okay, I hear the echo coming from your stream.
these are all restrictions on free speech.
Do you have headphones? Is that possible?
I don't have headphones.
Are you fucking serious?
I do, but... Dude, I'm not a fucking video game streamer, dude.
These are all restrictions on freedom of speech.
I'm
Yeah.
not.
Okay, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do this, okay?
What are
Here,
we gonna do?
go to my stream. You're just gonna watch it on my stream through your stream. Got it?
Wait, don't you have delay?
It's like 4 seconds or 3 seconds. Just go to my stream and watch it, and I'll pause it and we'll talk about things, okay? That's what we're gonna fucking do. Or scream at me if you want me to pause it, okay?
Okay, we'll go to your stream. I have a headset, but it's not connected to my
Don't worry about it. We don't need it, okay? We can't screen share on Discord because he's a million times louder than... Okay, you can screen share on Discord. Never mind. Everyone's crying for that. So screen share on Discord. Go.
Is that what you want to do?
No, but I want you to do it so that all the fucking morons in chat that are screaming for it, like, I don't know the option exists. Like, I don't do this 10 hours a day on average for my entire fucking life. Like, I have no idea what screen share on Discord is. So just do it. Just do screen share on Discord. We're going to do that. All right, play it there.
Should we screen share on Discord,
Yep,
dude?
do it. Play it from 2:30. Go.
I'm doing it, dude. I'm fucking doing it.
Yeah, that's
So I don't have that perspective. I think the issue that I have is with hate speech being regulated in certain instances. Given the fact that you actually, I would love to hear your perspective on this, because you said hate speech sounds a lot like punk speech.
Yeah, wrong thing. I think was the term I used in the video. I actually recorded it a few days ago, so you have to excuse me if it's not fresh in my memory. I think it's not so much that I have a problem with the concept of hate speech. I think we would agree on what hate speech is, which is if I hate a group, again, whatever that group might be, if I then try to incite others of a similar opinion to attack that group or to do something negative to that group, to discriminate against that group, I think that would be hate speech. For example...
Wait, can you turn it to 1.5 times, please?
What?
Can you turn it to 1.5 times?
Oh, dude, is it too fast?
Yep.
Are we?
I'm sorry, it's very quiet, so I'm using all my brain power right now, okay? Okay, shh, don't laugh, no, because there's a huge discrepancy in volume, okay? Just keep your voice down. This is what they asked for, okay? Okay, go.
Do you want me to turn it on
No.
more so you can hear it
Oh
off
yeah,
the echo?
turn it all the way up if you can, yeah.
Okay,
right.
let's see, because you're hearing it off of the like the echo or something, right?
No. It's just don't worry. Go. Just play again. Go. I can hear it. Go.
Okay.
Is hate speech. It gets a little bit more complex when there aren't direct calls to action within the speech, but it's not that I'm against the concept of hate speech. I think what I'm against overall is the broadening of the horizons of what constitutes hate speech. For example, I'm sure you saw the Count Dankula case over in the United Kingdom, in Scotland specifically, I should say. He was accused of hate speech for teaching a dog to mimic.
My vote didn't matter. AYAYA.
And that was constituted to be anti-Semitic hate speech. I don't agree with that. I actually did a fundraiser.
Wait, stop for a second.
I don't know anything about this guy.
You don't know anything about Count Dankula? I've debated this guy. You're not missing anything. But I don't think that was a broadening of the hate speech laws. Isn't that Scottish laws that were already in the books? What does he mean by broadening?
I don't know what he meant by broadening, but because I didn't know anything about the Count Dankula case, I was like, well, that's existing law, isn't it? And I thought he was like arguing that law was ridiculous or something. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. I don't know. It just seems weird that he's talking about expanding hate speech laws, but then he's talking about a law that's already on the books. So I don't know how that's expanding anything, but okay, keep going.
Yeah.
That to me is going too far, and I think it actually denigrates people who genuinely live in fear of hate speech, of which I'm more than aware. I used to live in Birmingham, which is a very multicultural city in the United Kingdom, in England. And I think.
Can we pause for a second?
I don't.
He does this. He'll do this so much. Like, oh, I've got a lot of multicultural friends. Oh, I've got a lot of diverse friends. Oh, I've got a lot of friends from. He does this fucking shit all the time. I don't know if he's gonna do it a lot during this debate, but it's really annoying.
Wait, weren't you best friends with them in the past or something? That's what people were saying.
Not best friends, but we were pretty close in the past. Yeah.
Damn. What happened?
I have principles and he's spineless. Basically he does the thing where like when people that are his friends are being like he was very silent during the whole JonTron thing. Like he wouldn't say anything and he kept attacking me over because he thought that I was like making JonTron become like a secret racist or some shit and it was all my fault and he wouldn't say shit. Yeah. And then he also like he'll side with his friends like Thorin kind of like leads him around on a little leash no matter what he says or does, and Richard Lewis doesn't really have the backbone to stand up to him. Yeah, it's just kind of annoying.
Wait.
What?
He's saying that you made JonTron racist?
Yeah, that's like that's the standard claim. Is that what most people say against me? Is most people say that JonTron wasn't really racist, that he was just kind of like he was a bad debater, and that I tricked him into sounding racist to everybody. He was part of the group of people that said that. Yeah.
I thought like you. I thought he made the argument that like you owned him so hard that like his genuinely racist opinions like got bolstered or something.
No. The claim is that JonTron wasn't racist at all. I tricked him into being racist. That's the general claim that people make against me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's ridiculous because everyone with a half a brain cell that has seen like some JonTron videos before you debated him already thought that he was racist. It's only
maybe, I don't know, but
tricks
right,
Sony.
a lot of I mean, I don't know. I had seen some of the videos and I thought he was a racist. I think I did a video on him on like Pop Sugar. I didn't really know him that well, but I remember a lot of people getting upset at me, like a lot of his fans getting upset at me saying like, "Oh, you're fucking stupid, dude. Like he's not racist at all."
I mean, like he might have done some edgy humor, but I don't think he did anything on the level that he had that night, like actual like
yeah, you know what? It might have even been the fucking debate that you did with him that I covered then.
Or that might I don't know. Well, because that was the first time that he did like some pretty like avowed crazy shit. Yeah.
Because I don't even know. I mean, I'll look it up. I don't even know if the video is still up. But like, I remember him like exposing himself or something. Like it was in the news.
If it was in the news, that was the debate that we did then. Yeah.
Oh, it was? Okay, yeah. Then yeah, I guess that was the one. And then I like covered it, and then people got very upset at me. They were like, "What the fuck? What do you know? JonTron's not a racist at all. Like you're a fucking idiot. Like the things he said in the debate are actually not even racist."
Mm-hmm.
That's what they were saying. Well, it was. But okay, so Richard Lewis we went over. JonTron we went over. We're going back into the video. Birmingham.
That kind of.
I mean, I don't know the specific case with Count Dankula. I'm not gonna lie to you. I know that he like got his bug to do like to Kyle or whatever. But if that concept, why do you think that? Let me ask you a question. Why do you think that happens? Like, why do you think that there are hate speech restrictions in like Western developed nations, with the exception of the United States? Like, why do you think that they have that in Europe?
Well, obviously, there's an immense fear of fascism, isn't there, within European countries? I mean, particularly Germany and Austria, where I don't think if you were to speak to any German, I think you would find them to be quite upset, actually, at how restrictive the government has been in a bid to.
Are you talking to Nazis? Say Kyle in public?
No, but so understand, for example, that it expands into art. So if you go see the film Inglourious Basterds, they had to like literally get special dispensation from the government to even wear the uniforms in the movie. In video games, you can't show depictions of Nazis in video games in Germany quite famously. I mean, they're also really restrictive on in-game video game violence. Mortal Kombat, for example, was banned. The original Mortal Kombat was banned in Germany. But
So
equally as well,
Wait, can we pause for a second? I just want to do
Yeah,
a little bit of fact checking. So firstly, he said they needed to get permission to do the Nazi uniform shit in Glorious Bastards, but it sounds like they got permission, so that was fine, I guess. So that wasn't a problem. And then he said you needed to get permission to show violence in video games. What does that have to do with hate speech?
I know, and I didn't even go after that claim at all.
Wait, hold on, I don't even know if this is true though. Let me just look up. I don't give these people any credit, so I always have to look everything up. Is it true that that they had to get permission from the German government to wear Nazi uniforms?
Are you looking it up right now?
Yes.
Or
Yep. Hold on, just give me a second. Does anybody know anything about this at all? Destiny, you don't even need permission. Destiny, no, that's not true. Okay, so that's not even true. Okay, Nazi iconography. I don't know how to pronounce that.
iconography.
Iconography, gotcha. Nazi iconography video games. Germany lifts bans on Nazi symbols in video games. This was on August 10th of 2018.
I mentioned that. I mentioned that right here.
Okay, so it sounds like this has been changed. Games 15.
No, I know. So I literally said like Germany. I think I just said that where I was like Germany's lifting that ban. So why are we talking about that or something like that?
Yeah, and it sounds like before it would have been okay if it was serving an artistic purpose or used in historical context. But okay, yeah, gotcha.
4 months, Dad.
All right, go play it.
What'd you say?
Go play
I thought
it.
you said, yeah.
Loosening the restriction on, but
Sure. But just to finish,
go on,
about
sorry.
Like I said, like as you can see, I said like no, they're loosening the restriction on that.
Sure. So real quick, like he just gish galloped you. So what he did
Yeah,
was
I
he
know.
just named like 3 things real quick. He named Inglourious Bastards needed to get permission from the German government. Not true. Can't have Nazi symbols in video games. That's been lifted. And then a ban on violence in video games. I haven't looked that up to see if it's true or not, but that has nothing to do with hate speech, and that's not true. And now that he gished out all 3 of those points, now he's going to say, just let me finish my point. Well, okay. Well, every premise that you just gave that this conclusion is going to rest on was false. So like your conclusion has absolutely no teeth now. But okay, it's really funny.
If you think this is bad, just wait.
Yeah, it's really funny that later on in this video he's going to accuse you of sounding like me after doing this, which is what people.
Oh yeah,
accuse
no,
me
he
of
already
doing.
he did that too. He started off really quickly. You'll see.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
Why I think they have it there, because obviously if you were in the eyes of many people of the world, I mean, I think it's a little bit outdated, outmoded, keeping in World War II, but obviously there was still generations. It's still culturally relevant, obviously. But
what kind of negative context does that create in your mind? If it's something that's even a meme outside of like Germany, they can't see that these guys are Nazi or whatever. Like, what do you think are negative consequences of that specific?
So the negative consequences when it starts spilling over. I mean, obviously I'm like you, right? I don't want fascism to rise up. I mean, that's a complete anathema to everything I believe and everything I stand for, all of my personal politics, personal beliefs.
Okay, dude. Holy shit.
What?
You're an individualist. That's me.
Oh.
My fucking question was like, what do you think is bad about the ban on like not being able to show like fascist bullshit in these countries? If you understand that he didn't answer the question.
I'll give you the answer. Okay, as a free speech advocate myself, I'll give you the answer, and they're too scared to say it. Dave Rubin said, okay, here is the answer. If you are a free speech absolutionists, there are certain types of free speech that will lead to violence. And what you need to be able to say, if you're a big boy and you want to have a big boy conversation, you need to be able to say, listen, I acknowledge that free speech can have detrimental consequences to certain groups. That's a trade-off that I'm willing to make. If you're not willing to make that statement, you need to sit the fuck down and leave the conversations to the people that have the intellectual honesty to admit that. Nothing makes.
But that's precisely why we started off by saying there's no such thing as like free speech absolutism.
Well, yeah, but like, even at this, like you're trying to get Jordan Peterson. You're trying to get Richard Lewis to admit that, like, hey, like, well, why are these laws existing? Why is this bad? Why does this need to happen? Right? But he's they always want to play this thing where it's like, oh, well, I want free speech absolution. I want free speech for everybody, and I blah blah blah. But I don't think anything bad ever comes of it. And it's like, well, no, dude, there's a fucking trade-off. You have to acknowledge that there's a trade-off. If you're not willing to acknowledge it, then you're not mature enough to have the conversation. Go back to fucking talking about fucking video games. That was your job before. Go back and do it like you used to. Like, I don't know why the fuck you're trying to talk talk about politics or philosophy or political philosophy. Go.
I think maybe he's trying to be Diet Destiny, dude.
I don't know.
Which, by the way, let's acknowledge that at this point, the reason why he's on this stream is because he sought me out. Because I was on the main page on Twitch, and he saw that I was raking in numbers while shitting all over his video, and he wanted to fucking get a piece of that action. And he thought, oh, well, this is an attractive-looking guy. He's probably dumb. I can fucking own him. I can use my British charm and wit to absolutely own him in the marketplace of ideas.
Yeah. And
that's not what happened. And then you'll see that. You'll see that he'll start deflecting by saying, well, this is not a debate. I did not want to debate you. It's also important to note this because, like, he in the end starts fucking attacking me personally and saying, like, I'm Diet Destiny and, like, good luck with your career. It's like, bitch, I fucking debated Ann Coulter on television, like, last week. What do you mean? You think Richard Lewis is, like, an important figure in my life to debate? Like, what the fuck? Anyway, sorry. But let's keep going.
So I don't know how to,
you know, it's derivative for sure. I mean,
yeah.
You were all.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't know if I wouldn't have been doing it. But you know, look, I think you know, fascism is a for me, and I'm against it explicitly. But I don't think that, for example, the impinging of use of Twitter, certain websites banned in Germany that are banned in other parts of the world, on Facebook.
They're not banned. I mean,
wait, hold on, wait, pause. Okay, wait. First of all, if you mute your mic, will it still play this for me? Can you try that real quick? Can you mute your mic and then play the video?
On my end?
Yeah. Mute your mic and then just play like 5 seconds of the video. No, fuck, I can't hear anything. All right, never mind. Don't worry about it. Because anytime you talk or make a noise, it totally mutes the video, and I can't hear anything at all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. So what is he saying? That Twitter was banned in Germany? What the fuck was he saying?
I don't know. I don't know. It just made no fucking sense, which is why I was like, no, Twitter's not.
All right.
banned
Okay.
in Germany.
Keep going.
Against it. But I don't think that, for example, the impinging of use of Twitter, certain websites banned in Germany that are banned in other parts of the world, on Facebook.
I mean,
well, you can't access them through the platform. So,
no. Here's the thing.
This is all muted right now. I can't hear anything. Did you mute yourself? Hello?
You can't hear me right now at all?
Oh, no, wait. I couldn't hear the video at all, no.
What the fuck? That's so weird. Hold up.
Let me go, I'll just watch your stream, okay? Let me go,
wait.
I'll just watch your
Oh, wait. Was I supposed to be watching it off of your stream or something?
No, wait. I was watching it off the screen share, but for some reason it mutes on the screen share sometimes. Wait, he can set it by going to the Applications tab in Screen Share, and it'll play the sound through the app like the web browser. This is what you guys wanted, by the way, so don't get mad. You wanted Screen Share. Here it is.
Wait. How do we do that? How do we do that? Do you know how to do that?
He said go to the Applications tab in Screen Share. I have no idea what the fuck that means, but he says go to the Applications tab in Screen Share. Do you know how to get there?
I'm looking at it right now. Hold on. User settings. I thought it would be in like voice video overlay, notifications, keybinds, game activity, game library, text images, appearance, streamer mode, language, Windows settings. Yeah, that's none of that.
People link 20 different video sharing sites because every video sharing site is shit. Like when you guys link them, they're laggy as fuck. Oftentimes the people can pause and unpause and desync from each other. Like I've tried these like 3 or 4 times. I've tried it a ton. I've tried my shit Circle TV. I've tried a couple others, and we just tried a few more. And there's like the syncing and everything is fucking dog shit on them. I don't know why. They just don't seem to work. He's saying don't do screen share. Instead, share the browser. Are you able to do that?
Oh, I can try. I don't think I can, but let me see. It says more screen share options, change windows.
We should have just done this in person. That would have been the better way to...
What's like Discord Nitro? That's another thing, I guess.
You don't want that.
Enough. I can't do it anyway. I don't know why. Because I'm not a real fucking streamer. Oh god. What user settings? Like, why won't it fucking show? Like, why won't it come up on the user settings?
I have no idea.
Noise suppression, echo cancellation.
If the media, the liberal
consequences when
attenuation, lower the notifications by this percentage when someone's speaking.
Sure. Set that to the best thing. That sounds like a good.
200.
Sure. What is that doing? What's it saying?
I don't know. We're about to lower the volume of other applications by this % when someone is speaking. Said 0%.
Set that to 0.
Completely
Set it to
disable.
0. Yeah.
That was at 0. I put it at 200. Stupid. Oh, and that's not even on like when I speak or when I speak. Enable quality. Yeah, I don't know why the fuck it's not like easier to just change the input, or like I guess you're literally hearing. Like, why doesn't screen share also come with audio share? You know what I mean? That makes no sense.
Well, I think it is sharing the audio. The audio is just really quiet, or maybe it's not. No, it's probably not actually.
No, it's not, because that you hear. I mean, you definitely. Wait, hold on. Let me increase my.
Okay, then
my
just go back 20 seconds and we'll listen to it again. It's fine. Okay, just go back.
Dude, this is so fucking. This is amateur hour.
Yeah.
Use of Twitter, certain websites are banned.
Oh, that's beautiful.
In Germany, that are banned in other parts of the world. On Facebook,
They're not banned. I mean, they.
Well, you can't access them through the platform. So
No.
they are.
So here's the thing: in Germany and other in countries, because of their different restrictions, what is protected, and what's not protected, they obviously censor certain things, and these multinational corporations are obviously completely fine. The reason why,
Sure,
though,
that's
the reason why,
another part of the issue.
yeah, but the reason why I don't necessarily have that big of a problem with that. Even though, of course, the expansion of that on like what could be considered hate speech is definitely something that I'm personally terrified by, given the fact that I come from a country where there's no freedom and there's no free press, there's no protection, and Erdogan has seized power and controls the media.
Sorry, what country is that?
I grew up in Turkey. So,
Okay, yeah, it's a real bad situation.
Not only have I criticized publicly Erdogan, I wrote on Huffington Post like a bunch of articles about the coup that happened in Turkey. I've also had some minor run-ins with people that were speaking on behalf of the Turkish government that have literally silenced my speech. Okay, so trust me, I completely understand that. I understand what happens when an authoritarian government takes the reins. But the reality at that point, especially in a country like America, if we were to change the freedom of speech restrictions and include hate speech, for example, if we were to have a fascist dictatorship at that point, what difference does it make? We have a fucking fascist dictatorship at that point. Just like
Exactly. Sure. I agree with that. I see your point.
So, and on top of that, the other thing I'll never understand is you mentioned Count Dankula, and you mentioned like the fines, for example, because I feel like a lot of instances, it's not necessarily like there's a different level of severity if you're like actually wearing a Nazi, an SS outfit or whatever. But if you're just like memeing or you make some fucking dumb jokes or whatever, you usually have to pay a fine or the punishment is not as severe. But even beyond that, my question, and when I was looking at your video, is I mean, you talk about how like terrifying it is that these people have these freedom of speech restrictions in these countries, and yet, do you live in America? I don't know where you live.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so you live in America.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're an immigrant living in America, and America is a country that currently hosts 25% of the world's incarcerated population. Which part of that seems more totalitarian to you? The United States?
Oh,
or
don't
you
even
think
get me
that,
started. Don't even get me started on private prisons in America. I'm vehemently against it.
Okay, but I'm not talking about private prisons. I'm talking about public prisons.
Well, prison system, yeah,
I'm talking about criminal justice system in general.
But I feel like we're moving into a broader, topic there. Just to keep it on the Dankula issue, it's again. I mean, people use the term.
But my point isn't even about the prison system or a criminal justice system. My point is that, like America, the most free, the least restricted country when it comes to freedom of speech, very clearly is still more of a totalitarian hellhole than Germany or England.
Oh, stop.
I didn't argue to the contrary. I'm simply talking about how do we end up.
Something that you're hitting on here, I don't know how cognizant you are of it, but like a lot of the times people's complaints will be evidence of the positions they have in life or the privileges that they have in life. So for instance, if somebody says, I want to talk about freedom of speech, and you're like, okay, cool, yeah, let's talk about these freedoms. And they're like, I got banned on Facebook and Twitter. And it's like, oh, you don't really want to talk about freedom of speech. You've just got like a couple of very specific problems, and you're trying to broaden this conversation to make it sound like it actually fucking matters. I notice that people do that a lot. So like people will complain about, oh, like let's talk about totalitarianism in the United States. Like, oh, that's actually really interesting. Yeah, like the Republican Party's been attacking the free press and everything like crazy. Like, oh no, I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about how on college campuses sometimes this one person gave a speech and they got failed by their liberal teacher. Like, oh.
Yeah, you see where where I was taking the conversation,
exactly.
right? Where it's like,
like if you want to talk about like some insane totalitarian shit, let's talk about the 1% of America's population is incarcerated. That's I don't know that's totalitarianism, but that's fucking insane, right? But for some reason the conversation topics always seem to go towards
it's not
things
1% of the no. My point wasn't that's not even the 1% of the American population. I said 25% of the entire world's population, like 25% of the entire world's incarcerated population is incarcerated inside of U.S. borders. that number is insane in comparison to the American population versus other countries. Yes, America has a lot of citizens, but like, what seems like a more totalitarian hellhole to you? America, that has no freedom of speech restrictions in comparison to these other countries. I mean, they still do. Or fucking Germany, because like your friend on YouTube got arrested for like 5 minutes because he purposely broke the law.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Okay. Keep going.
That was my perspective, which he's avoiding because he knows that. I mean, he has no room to. He has no ground there. But anyway,
how do we end up in a position where things can get worse? And that's what that video is about. I think what's happening is there is this political minefield associated with language that hasn't existed in my lifetime before. I remember when political correctness was sort of first being pushed as an ideology and coming through the mainstream when I was a lot younger. I was very much in support of it because it seemed a compromise for disparate groups to find common ground through language. I had absolutely no issue with it. If I could have foresaw the point we would get to now, where very clear jokes are having people potentially incarcerated, and I agree, it's nothing like Turkey, by the way. It's an awful situation out there.
Stop.
It's an awful situation in Russia too, which is what.
He's so fucking slimy. So like earlier we talked about Count Dankula, okay, and the fact that he paid a fine, okay, for a very specific thing in Scotland that isn't a new law and has been on the books forever. And now somehow with that single example that was already kind of toppled, he's expanded this and now he's just weaseled it back in and he's like, well, now you've got people potentially facing incarceration for telling bad jokes. Like, wait, what? Like he expanded the fuck out of that. Do you understand that?
Yeah, no, I do. He's like, I totally get that. Like, it has nothing to do with, I mean, and at this point, we've like moved beyond whatever we were talking about. Originally, I think we were talking about like freedom of speech, like in a very limited fashion. Because like what I wanted to talk to him about originally was, ironically, that's why he said he came on, where I was like, do you understand do you know what hate speech is? Like, do you understand why there are hate speech laws? That's what we were talking about. And now he's completely derailed the conversation over to like Count Dankula being arrested, which is something I admittedly don't know much about.
And this is,
like, I don't know.
This is why these conversations are so fucking boring. Like, this is like, honestly, it's a very interesting conversation on free speech absolutism. I think it's a super fascinating conversation. Like, for instance, like a related conversation is how much privacy should a human being have, right? Because if you gave the government unrestricted access to our electronic device shit, we would probably never have a terrorist attack in the United States. We could probably stop a whole bunch more crime. That's almost certainly true. That if we had unrestricted access to all of our social media accounts, that the government could monitor all of that, that would almost definitely be true. Now, there'd be trade-offs. You have no fucking privacy, and that might be abused, but you could still probably prevent a lot of crime. So really, we accept things like 9/11, or we accept things like certain terrorist attacks because we want our freedom. That's an okay argument. We use that in the United States as a price we pay for our liberal values, which is okay. But like, we can't even have this conversation about free speech because they try to derail it into some PC SJW bullshit. And it's like, instead of having the actual substantive conversation, we're pretending that everybody's about to be thrown in jail for making a fucking Hitler joke, which is so far removed from reality. It's not even worth talking about.
Or like, yeah, I mean, it never gets to the bare bones of the argument of like why these restrictions exist to begin with. Yeah. We never can get to that conversation because deep down inside, at that point, either they're going to be like, well, it doesn't matter because I agree with them, or it's going to get to a point where they're like, or they're going to say like, no, it's just not going to happen. Like that Nazi propaganda won't spread if it's unchecked. Which, by the way, even when it is checked, obviously it still has the capacity to fucking spread. Yeah. So,
all right.
No, I don't know. That other comment, like, anyway, I'll just keep going. Sorry.
Yep.
The Trump hates journalists. Kind of rhetoric a little bit laughable, and there are definitely, governments out there that actually do imprison and have journalists killed, and we're seeing them in Saudi Arabia. Being an American journalist is a very privileged position.
Stop. Okay, hold on.
What does that have to do with American journalism?
Well, firstly, way to fucking hand wave the president of the United States attacking the free press. That's a funny fucking hand wave right there.
We're gonna get back to that.
Yeah. Also, I'm pretty sure that if there are indexes about freedom of the press, I don't think America ranks that well. I could be wrong on that, but aren't we like 20th something on this list? Hold on. I could be wrong. Okay. The World Press Freedom Index, maybe these guys are biased, maybe there's another index we should look at, but like, that ranks the United States at 45. So I don't know where this idea comes from that we like have by far the freest fucking press. It sounds like some American exceptionalist idea or whatever that I'm surprised to hear a Britbonger recite. That's kind of funny that he comes over here and echoes our talking points or whatever. Why so low? I've heard people say that America has huge problems with things related to whistleblowing and that like dramatically impacts our ranking on these sites. Where is Canada on this? Canada's 18. But okay, anyway, yeah, I'm sorry. Can you go back like 20 seconds and then go?
This is something sorry, I was talking, but I muted myself. I forgot. But what I was saying is this is something that I know a lot about, and that's precisely where we're going right now. You're right. You are correct. America does not rank super high on the Freedom Index, and that's not what I'm going to say because I didn't know that exact number at the time. Now I know. But I'm going to talk about whistleblowers right now.
As far as like how the way previous
Obama did imprison someone, but I supported Obama. I was an Obama supporter.
So I was against Obama. Okay. Whistleblower. Today, Obama's treatment as far as whole was completely different than treatment.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, Obama did imprison journalists in prison. You said you wrote protection.
The J20
so,
trials
and then prior to that, what George Bush did. But George Bush is one of the, this is what I mean. I'm not I see a lot of people talk in terms of left and right. I mean,
Wait, hold on. But there's a lot. You're pointing to one example, right? You're pointing.
No, I'm not pointing to one example. I'm pointing to in America. There are certainly not a lot of journalistic freedoms under any of them, as there are in some other countries. Presidents have done some reprehensible things towards journalists and journalistic freedom, which I'm passionate about because I'm a journalist. But and Trump is one of those with rhetoric. But equally, Obama did reprehensible things, and you agree about that. So I mean, you know, I don't really. See the kind of point we get to.
The point I was going to get to is not only has Donald Trump done very similar things, or Donald Trump's administration has done very similar things as far as prosecuting whistleblowers, including Reality Winner, which I'm not familiar with or not, but it's a translator who got more than 5 years because she leaked.
What was her name again?
Reality Winner. She leaked the Russian hacking report. That actually, the irony there, of course, is that whatever. I'm not going to approach this from a partisan lens. So my point is, whistleblowers are always treated poorly in this country, and that's consistent between Obama and also consistent with Trump, as evidenced by what I showed you. But what's different is the treatment of mainstream media in general. Donald Trump and the very violent language that he uses, from my perspective at least, is completely different than any other modern president. And also on top of that, it has really damaging outcomes. And I think the MAGA mail bomber is a perfect representation. I mean,
but on the other side,
he routinely incites violence, and there is not a single person with a modicum of power, with even not even as much power, but let's say a single representative who has mirrored direct attacks in the same fashion that Donald Trump has, not only singling out like actual dissidents, like political dissidents, Matt Chuck Schumer, all these other people, even people in his own party, but also mainstream media as a whole. You have seasoned journalists covering the campaign trail, like talking about how they have never, ever seen under any administration they've covered the kind of vitriol launched at them when they're sitting in the press box, the amount of protection they need, additional protection they need when they're at a Trump rally.
Sure, but most of them. Were very glowing about the Obama administration. Went to rallies, and it's a very different kind of environment, very different gig.
Why?
I want to rewind. I want to rewind a little.
So like, do you see that though? Like he's like, he knows that he can't answer any of these questions, so he's just like trying to fucking. We'll see. Well, I don't remember.
Yeah, he never like engages with the point. He just tries to hand wave it with whataboutism. Like, okay, well, what about Trump's attacks on? He never says like, okay, Trump's attacks on the press are okay because of this, or I don't think they're okay and I condemn him for it. Instead, it's okay. Well, what about Obama? Okay, well, what about Bush? Okay, well, what about right? It's always like a hand wave.
Yeah, every single time, and like that isn't the. And I think there was a point where I'm like, but that doesn't justify what Trump is doing. If you're against what Barack Obama did, then you should be against what Donald Trump did as well. Or are you for it because, like, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. Like, I'm not looking at this from a partisan perspective regardless. I'm not here to justify Barack Obama. I think that's fairly clear.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm simply saying is, like, that Donald Trump's statements across the board, his, like, front-facing statements to like, actual American citizens is really damaging on top of, like, the treatment of whistleblowers. It's fairly consistent behind closed doors.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on? Oh, buddy. Oh, boy. What the fuck is going on now?
Comes out, massive piece of shit. I think undoubtedly he has taken his cues from violent rhetoric that is certainly out there. Division, between two polarized extremes.
Ha! Like,
Wait, say that.
fucking
Wait, can
Donald
you
Trump.
replay that?
Wait, how do I? Is it J or something?
I don't know.
Is that how you-
Go back like
Yeah.
10 seconds. Play that again.
You know, it's a very different kind of environment, very different gig.
Why?
I want to rewind. I just want to rewind a little bit, though. Rewind a little bit. And talk about, you know, absolutely this lunatic, this Smith job that said to take pipe bombs out, you know, massive piece of shit. I think undoubtedly he has taken his cues from violent rhetoric that is certainly out there because of the division, you know, between the two polarized extremes. But equally as well, you know, I'm of the mindset that when I did a whole podcast about this, when the Scalise shooting happened, the media have to take a little bit of accountability for that. When the ricin was recently sent to the Pentagon.
Wait, why would the media have to take accountability for the Scalise shooting? I'm saying like
some accountability, not full accountability.
Okay, but what kind of accountability? And also specifying.
Wait. What is he talking about? Rice? Wait, what is he talking about?
Apparently, and this is something that right wingers love to fucking talk about, and I'm surprised that you haven't heard this yet. That Donald Trump Jr. was sent a package that may or may not have been ricin. I believe it was some sort of substance that was made to look like it was ricin, but it wasn't actually ricin. Versus the actual nail bombs were like had explosive devices in them. They were just like built faultily and did not explode.
Is Richard Lewis about to say which major Democrats are calling for violence against Republicans? Is he about to give a name for that? Like Donald Trump has said that he would pay legal fees for people assaulting people, or that people would be carried out on stretchers, or that Second Amendment people can take care of Hillary Clinton, or no?
I mean, no, he's not. So watch how he fucking dodges it once again.
Okay.
I understand America very well. I've lived out here for a long time. I love this.
You've lived here for longer than I have. I've only been here for 9 years.
So if you were to you know, for example, if you were to say, right, okay, this is a country where people have guns, and this is a country where people take freedom very, very seriously because of the way the country was founded, and it's still a very young country, and as we know, history tends to resonate more than the closer you are in proximity to it. If you then start telling everyone that there is a fascist in power, and we must resist, Nazis in the White House, KKK in the White House, and all this hyperbolic language, yes, somebody is going to go and act upon that because they believe genuinely that their lives are threatened. And yes, that's what happened when the baseball field of Republicans got shut up. So listen, I agree with you. I've said, and I think I said it in that video that you watched, maybe you glossed through it.
So you think,
okay, stop. Okay. If
Ridiculous.
you think that somebody saying that there are Nazis in the White House, that's going to lead to violence, if you genuinely believe that, which that can be an okay belief, then surely you've been extremely critical of Trump's calls to violence, right? You must have been, because this is not on that level. Now, you could argue that both are, but this is like an all or nothing. You can't say that, like, saying that some people in the White House are having Nazi tendencies is calling for violence, but Trump literally saying he would pay legal fees for people beating up other protesters, that's not. You can't have one of these and not the other. If any, Trump's rhetoric is far more extreme than people saying, hey, there are people that are literal Nazis and KKK members, right? Like,
yeah, no, I know. But
it's really
my
annoying
point
when people say shit like this, because their track record betrays their thought process. God,
but
he's
no,
so weaselly.
fuck their track record. Even on the, like, we're having a conversation right now exclusively about rhetoric, right? And my point, very, very pointedly, my question is, name one thing that is even remotely similar. And I asked this already, where I said, name one instance where anyone in the media has said something similar to Donald Trump, to Donald Trump's targeted attacks against Stephen fucking Scalise. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, name one time that people have incited violence in a targeted and direct fashion similar to Donald Trump.
Yeah, and somebody like a big Democrat, not some random dumb fuck on Twitter, right?
Yeah, no, for sure.
I misunderstand your point at all before I say something, but so you said that, like, the media has to take accountability for, or some accountability for the fact that, like, the Bernie Sanders supporter when, like, shot up a congressional.
Well, forget about he's a Bernie Sanders supporter. I don't think that. Bring that to the discussion.
Well, first of all, because I mean, it's still different given the fact that you and I both know, and the reason why you don't want to bring up the fact that he's Bernie Sanders supporter is because Bernie Sanders is not talking about anything violent. But hold on, the point I was going to say.
I didn't say take his cue from Bernie Sanders, though.
No, I know you said the media has some accountability. So yes, the point I wanted to make, as far as, or what I wanted to understand about the Steve Scalise shooting, was that you're saying that the media accurately reporting on the things that Donald Trump is doing and then commentating on top of it is equally the same as, like, singling out specific people. Like, I don't understand. Like, singling out specific people or saying mainstream media is because they are. The Donald Trump administration isn't. The Donald Trump administration, in many ways, is unique because of the way the language they're using.
Would you agree? because I feel like what you're doing is this is like how Destiny discusses. And it's just,
So when he says this is how Destiny discusses, the problem is that like what he wants to do, this is what conservatives often want to do, is conservatives want to tell you a story. They don't really care about fact or any empirical data. They want to tell you a story. And here's the story they want to tell you. PC warriors around the world are making it so everybody's trying to hate everybody that's conservative and they want to bring back Nazism, and PC warriors are the worst thing ever. That's the story they want to tell you, and that's all they really want to talk about. But as soon as you start to like question like, hey, well, what about this fact? What about this fact? What about this datum? What about this like story, right? As soon as you start to try to like hold them accountable to like root or ground out their story in the real world, they get insanely fucking ass pained. And that's the frustration that Richard Lewis is feeling right now, because the story that he's telling you, he really believes it. Like he really genuinely believes what he's telling you. And he really does think that it's fact-based, but every time you bring up facts that don't align with his story, he is facing this very uncomfortable cognitive dissonance where it's like, okay, well, like, I just said all these things and none of them were really true, but like I know my story's true, and now this guy's like asking me all these specific questions and I just don't have the answer, and he must be the liar. Like he must be using a dirty debate tactic because I know my story's right. I know that what I'm saying is true. He must be using like a dirty tactic. That's what's going on, right? He's more likely to accuse you of being disingenuous to remedy that cognitive dissonance than he is to actually accept the fact that maybe he's full of shit, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I know. I know that's exactly what's happening. It's just really frustrating that.
Oh yeah.
It's just really fucking frustrating when they also try to seize control of the facts over feelings narrative.
But they are
all
always feelings. Yep.
Yeah, it's always fucking feels over reals.
Uh-huh.
Always.
I almost find it the funnest topic to go in on this one. Oh god, because I've spent more and more days like listening to different biologists. Fucking talking about transgender stuff to fucking conservatives is so hilarious. The female male binary that exists. If you talk to any biologist, it will fucking laugh you out of the fucking like. The more investigation we've done into like genetics and different biology sciences, like the idea that some hardcore male female dichotomy exists is hilariously fucking naive. And I've never heard like a biologist that does serious studies into these areas will sit there and support it. And then for you to say fact over feeling when these are completely socially imposed dichotomies, it's just like, yeah, I don't know. Conservatives do this dumb shit all the fucking time.
Yeah, well, that and then I mean, obviously, like global warming being another one, but the fucking really frustrating thing is that, like I said, they've been able to absolutely fucking take control over that though, because like so many of Ben Shapiro's fanboys actually genuinely think that he's being like logically consistent.
Yeah.
Another thing that is hilarious about that, I don't know if you saw this, but ContraPoints did a video about like gender neutral pronouns or whatever, like her latest video.
Mm-hmm.
And in her latest video, she used this snippet where Ben Shapiro was talking to fucking Blair White. And Blair White, you and I both know that Blair White is not necessarily like the best spokesperson for trans people.
She's she's the like, Uncle Tom version of like a trans person for Republicans.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, yep.
Exactly.
She's the person that you can point to and go, I fucking hate trans people. You're like, wait, what? And like, well, no, look, Blair White said everything I just said about trans people. So
yeah,
I went like, okay.
Well, Candace Owens.
Yeah,
same
sure.
shit.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Blair White fucking wrecked Ben Shapiro. I don't know if you knew this. You should watch the latest. Yeah, Blair White accidentally wrecks Ben Shapiro, and then Ben Shapiro deflects the conversation away. And then she also showed another. Example where Ben accidentally shows that he is socially cognizant of the fact that like a trans woman is a woman. He refers to them as she, and then misgenders them after the fact. So like. It's fucking so disingenuous, dude. Like, he's being a shithead on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
He's not even, like, misgendering people. He correctly gendered a trans woman by calling her she on the Joe Rogan podcast and then going, oh, I meant he.
Yeah, because it's a social phenomenon.
How fucked up. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. How fucking annoying is that, dude?
Yeah.
When I see that shit, I'm like, oh, you little fucking dweeb, dude.
You're literally going out of your way to try to be as offensive as possible.
I wish they fucking stuffed you in more lockers so you didn't like also gain confidence at some point in your fucking stupid life to go in front of a camera, you dipshit. Oh, that makes me so mad, dude. When you're like being purposely cruel, like accidentally misgendering someone is one thing. And from my experience with all the trans people I've talked to, they are very understanding despite this being like a significant holdup in their fucking lives for the most part, because you have to justify your existence day in and day out to every single human being that you encounter in some respects. But like to purposely and intentionally misgender someone after you have already correctly identified their gender in a conversation, that shit really fucking disgusts me, dude.
Yeah.
That shit makes me so mad. Anyway, sorry. All right, but let's keep going. But that's a quick aside for you that you should check out. It's really funny.
Talk over people. Let's just stay on point, right? So would you agree with this? Okay. To say the press is the enemy of the people is as hyperbolic a statement as to say Republicans are Nazis. Yes or no?
No, the Republicans are Nazis. It's not a statement. Republicans are Nazis is not a statement that you hear from a person in a position of power in a similar way that like the president.
Okay, so like stop for a second here. This is so stupid. To say that the press is the enemy of the people, that's like literally an anti-liberal value. This is like a fascist statement, right? That the press is the enemy of the people. That is like by definition like a fascist statement, right? Like the press is the enemy. We need to bring them under control of the state. Like this is something that is like intrinsically negative, right? That's like literally an anti-liberal like statement. Like there is no. Well, I mean, I guess you could defend that statement if I guess if you literally think the press are all owned by like the Zionist fucking Jewish conspiracy or whatever, I guess, which I guess would be his point. I don't know. I don't know if anybody says.
I mean, he's a part of the press. He's but like,
then also keep in mind the comparisons that we're making here, right? So like Donald Trump himself has said that the press is the enemy of the people. Which Democrat leaders have said the Republican Party is the party of Nazism? I could be wrong, but have like mainstream Democratic leaders.
That's precisely my point. That was exactly what I asked. I was like, wait, give me an example of someone who said that with a similar position of power to Donald Trump.
Yeah. Or not even like similar, but like a congressman or something. Yeah, but okay, go ahead.
All right.
I don't understand. Like singling out specific people or saying mainstream media is
Wowie.
Because the Donald Trump administration isn't.
Hold on. We moved.
I don't need to clarify. Do you agree that those?
Oh, here.
I cover that extensively on my podcast.
Do you think like
to say the press is the enemy of the people is as hyperbolic a statement that let's
because of the way
would you agree? Feel like what you're doing.
So my question was like,
wait, go back to the press of the people. Wait, where's just play your question?
Yeah, I fucked it up. I like lost it. That's why I was trying to find it here.
Saying that the media accurately reporting on the things that Donald is doing and then commentating on top of it is equally the same as like singling out specific people. Like I don't understand. Like singling out specific people or saying mainstream media is things that I'm doing. The Donald Trump administration isn't. The Donald Trump administration in many ways is unique because of the way the language
would you agree? Because I feel like what you're doing is this is like what
sorry.
Just like,
just keep playing. We'll get up to it.
And let's just stay on point, right? So would you agree with this? Okay. To say the press is the enemy of the people is as hyperbolic a statement as to say Republicans are Nazis. Yes or no?
No, the Republicans are Nazis is not a statement. The Republicans are Nazis is not a statement that you hear from a person in a position of power in a similar way that like the president.
I definitely heard that on media.
Media networks.
Okay, sorry, so that's bullshit. And then it's also flat logic that he's trying to apply to like back me into a corner. And that's really frustrating. And I immediately caught on to that. And I was like, that's not a fucking scenario that I'm going to answer because it's not a fucking real scenario that exists. So when I try to get him to clarify his like scenario to expand upon that, and he's having a hard time describing it because that's not a real thing.
What the fuck is media networks? What the fuck does that mean? Please tell me he gives a name.
Do you think a commentator? Wait. That's not the question.
I asked you.
I'm not moving on. I'm trying to help you clarify your question.
I don't need to clarify. Do you agree that those two statements?
I don't need to clarify. It's like, no, you do, dude. I don't understand your question. Like,
yeah.
What the fuck? Anyway, here, I'll turn off followers only so you guys can chat it up.
Or is equally hyperbolic?
Who's saying the statements? who's making the statement.
That has nothing to do with the question.
It absolutely does. It absolutely has everything to do with the statement.
Can you stop? He's so fucking stupid. Why does this guy talk about fucking politics? It doesn't matter who said it. What the fuck do you mean it doesn't matter who said it, you fucking moron? Why would anybody ever say that? You don't think there's a difference between the president of the United States saying something versus some fucking random dipshit on Twitter? Why would you even unironically fucking say that and then pretend that your opinion about anything political matters? It's so fucking stupid. Like, it's obvious. No wonder that he wrote for fucking Breitbart. Like, Jesus Christ. Sorry, okay.
No, that's precisely where I'm going with this, where I'm like, well, okay, what the fuck do you mean? Like, describe yourself a little bit better. And he refuses to do that.
Yeah.
He just refuses to fucking...
Saying Republicans are Nazis down the street obviously doesn't have the same kind of weight the fucking president does. Come on.
Yeah.
That's not what hyperbole means. I'm asking you.
like, that's literally what I...
That's not what hyperbole means? No, that's not what he's talking... That's not what hyperbole means here. I'm asking you if there are hyperbolic statements. The hyperbole applies to the statement itself, but how hyperbolic a statement means or the context of that statement matters based on who says it, right? Like...
Yeah. Exactly why
So,
I
like,
use the term,
yeah.
like, it's not the same as, like, some fucking random dipshit on the street versus,
Oh
like,
my
Donald
God.
Trump.
All right. Hold on. I gotta, hold on. His question was about which one was more hyperbolic. How hyperbolic it is doesn't change depending on who says it. If we were in first grade, I would agree with you, but that's not how he's trying to lead the conversation. What he's trying to do is he's trying to draw an equivalence between two statements. One statement said by the President of the United States and another statement said by the media or some random fuckhead on Twitter. Now, in a vacuum, can we compare the hyperbole of these two statements? Sure, but the context of this conversation is Trump being more authoritarian or fascist than previous democratically elected leaders in the United States? That's the context of this conversation. So within the context of that conversation, if we're taking statements uttered by Trump, and we've been trying desperately for the entire debate to equate everything he's done with past presidents, and then we're trying to take that statement and then compare it to another statement that's not said by anybody in power, then fuck no. It is not appropriate in this context to say, oh yeah, well those two statements are equally hyperbolic. Even though in a vacuum the statements might be equally hyperbolic, these statements in reality, in the context of our society, carry far different weights behind them because one is uttered by the head of state and the other is said by randoms on fucking Twitter that are so fucking random that even Richard Lewis, who spends his whole fucking life crying about the shit on Twitter, can't name a single fucking name about. Okay, so no,
that is precisely where we're getting to.
You
by the way.
you wouldn't give this here and say, oh yeah, they're both hyperbolic, because that's playing into his fucking stupid cards. Sorry,
but that's precisely where we're getting to right now in the conversation. Where okay, name one, like.
Why? Yeah, because I'm asking you the question. So can you answer the question?
But you're looking at it from a completely flat morality.
So
it's a ridiculous.
I'm asking you, are those statements equally hyperbolic? The reason you're not answering is because you know that they are. Yes.
No, because the context is absolutely something that matters. You can't just say, look, a random person going
this
around
this is what I mean. Like, this is what I mean. How it feels like the Republican talking points are just for morons. That's what I mean. Like, you're not having an intelligent conversation right now. You're talking to a fucking fourth grader. Like, he's not smart enough to have the conversation. Like, well, aren't both statements bad? Yeah, they are. Well, if both statements are bad, then all of it's equally bad. Like, no, you dumb motherfucker. This is not the same type of oh my God. It's such a stupid fucking way of looking at this.
I was trying to be nice. I like, that's exactly how I felt as well at this point.
It's a dumb conversation.
But I was just trying to be as nice as possible because he's British, and like British people just you know, they have
but he spends
they have
all
a way
day
of
on
dismantling
Twitter,
your
crying about like SJWs and shit. It's like, have an intelligent conversation. Oh fuck, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
This is triggering the fuck out of me. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's just so silly.
Going to be different than the president saying that. I'm not saying that the president's saying, but you have to understand this, right? Like, this is something that you understand.
I said like a random person saying that you know, or a random person saying are lesser than white people is different than the president saying it. You get that, right? Like, that was a argument that I was trying to get him to like explain or understand.
Yeah.
But that is absolutely what we're talking about. Because you are
linguistically is equally hyperbolic.
But what difference does it make with linguistic?
We're doing this. This is the topic.
But what difference does the linguist? But this is a
that
false
they are
comparison.
So they are it's in actual.
Just because language is equally hyperbolic, which is subjective to begin with, doesn't mean that it is an identical situation. If I answer that question yes, does not necessarily change the fact that, like I said, Donald Trump saying mainstream media is the enemy of the people, and then someone sending mail bombs as a consequence of that is not the same as like some dipshit pundit on CNN saying Donald Trump is a Nazi. Just because those two things are the same doesn't necessarily mean the outcomes are going to be the same. You have to also understand that.
What we would agree on is that yes, Donald Trump. I find his rhetoric boorish, not becoming the president.
It's not just boorish; it's violent. It's very violent.
I like how they go so far out of their way to fucking baby him. Like, oh yeah, Trump's rhetoric. Well, it's not exactly becoming of a president. But then when they talk about like fucking Obama or God forbid the witch fucking Hillary Clinton, she's like a literal fucking demon. Like, holy fucking shit. Like, Donald Trump is literally making jokes about fucking like Second Amendment people killing fucking Hillary. Or like his rhetoric, fascist rhetoric, by the way, lock her up, lock up political opponents. Like, oh, well, that's not becoming the president. Like, oh my God, if it was a fucking Democrat saying this shit, you would be losing your fucking mind on Twitter. Like, you give so much credence to your side. The politician hackery is fucking amazing. I don't understand how this guy doesn't have a fucking brace attached to his body so that he can stand up straight, because he clearly doesn't have a fucking spine.
Well, Destiny, I mean, has Donald Trump actually locked up any political dissidents thus far? I think not. It's just it's hyperbole.
It's so stupid.
It's just hyperbole, Destiny. Oh, you're being disingenuous. Like, that's literally every fucking British dipshit. Every British centrist dipshit.
Whoa.
Well,
careful. No, careful on the British memes. That sounds like hate speech to me, okay? I'm not disparaging all British people. Just this particular commentator.
No, I said every British centrist dipshit on YouTube is like exactly that way, where they're like, oh, well, I don't know. It seems to me like Donald Trump has never done that. It's just a meme. It's just a meme.
All right, keep
Wait,
going.
really? That's a TOS? I can't say every British dipshit. Holy fuck,
I don't even
dude.
know, dude. Because it's the PC police. They're coming after.
Wow, dude. Freedom of speech is non-existent, dude. I just got fucking freedom of speech. Wow, I'm a reactionary Republican now?
Again, I can't deny that.
And also, who at CNN said that?
But you said that, like, oh, you've tried to play down the importance of pundits and media people. Unfortunately, I think the issue, and this is
the reason why I don't want to get into the pundits and media people absolutely lose that side, because Fox News does way worse shit on a regular basis. Fox News talks about George Soros, a very openly anti-Semitic conspiracy theory perpetrated by the alt-right and neo-Nazis, as though George Soros is single-handedly responsible for the terror. Fox News pundits talk about.
Let's keep it.
I didn't want to open up the conversation with pundits. I didn't want to.
I know, but why do you think they're not important? Why do you think?
No, I'm not saying that they're not important. I'm saying I was trying to make.
No. My argument is very logical. My point is that I don't even have an issue about.
Okay, but you're the one who's talking about pundits. You're the one who literally compared a pundit statement. We don't even know which pundit it was. You're comparing a pundit statement. So when I say if we're going to talk about pundits,
it's pretty much 92% of the pundits in the media. So would you agree that?
What the fuck?
92.
Whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay. That doesn't matter. What is negative coverage? Did you look into that?
No, and let's see. You're moving on to another.
I'm not. I'm asking you to clarify the data points that you're using in your argument. Obviously, do your research. You should know exactly what you're talking about.
Talking over consistent. Like
I'm not.
This whole debate.
I love that, like, people always fucking when someone assumes the role of the victim in a conversation, people are so fucking quick. They're so fucking quick to be like, oh yeah, well, Hasan, you were talking over him a lot. Yeah, see, people are saying that already. People are saying that already. It's really fucking frustrating. It's like, he talks over me all the fucking time too. I'm simply asking him to actually, like, clarify his statements. I'm asking him here in a very pointed fashion, give me the data points. And instead he's like, well, oh, now you're talking over me. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
Again, like, he just wants to tell a story and he doesn't actually have any data to support his viewpoint.
Yeah.
Which is uncomfortable.
So what I'm saying is, do you agree then that the media, you see it doing it again? Just stop.
I just want to know if you looked into your own study. I just want to know if you looked into your own study.
Yes, I did.
Okay, so what's the negative coverage in the 92%? I just want to understand.
It was a Harvard University study, I believe. I don't have it to hand because we're not debating. I'm trying to have a conversation. So if I can just finish the sentence, I've tried to finish 8 times. So do you agree that the media has to have some accountability in terms of what it says? Because obviously a lot of people, they watch the news and they believe the news. This is both left and right, yes? So Fox people, for example, at the height of birther nonsense, were watching Fox News, and I know, like, Sean Hannity come out and, is there a foreigner in the White House, whatever, and they believe a lot, yes? So same thing happens every day on mainstream media. And yes, do I think some people...
The left and the right, the same memes. I love the same memes. Can you wait, do you ask him for an example on something as ridiculous coming out of the left-leaning media as the fucking birther movement?
He won't. That's the point, dude. That's the problem. When I specifically asked them, and I'm going to do this again down the line in this conversation, where I'm like, can you give me another example? Can you give me a clear-cut example of what you're talking about? He's like, well, it's not a debate. It's not a debate. Well, what the fuck is it, dude? You wanted to come here. You wanted to clarify your positions. And when I'm asking you to clarify your positions, all you keep saying is, it's not a debate. Well, what the fuck is this then? Is this just an opportunity for you to get on my stream and talk to my audience and explain your fucking... And, like, I'm not going to sit here and platform you. You need to fucking tell me exactly what your positions are. Otherwise, we're not having a conversation. I'm just letting you propagandize your perspective, which seems to be some fence shitting, Nazi fucking defending bullshit.
Out some lies
If it's
about
that easy,
something in the
please.
media.
If it's that easy, and by the way, I'm not meaning, I'm not trying to fucking debate you.
I mean, come on, dude.
But you can't make a statement and then not follow it. It's that easy, as you just said. If it's as easy as like throwing a dart.
You're breaking down my video from going, yeah, oh yes, you pick out one hyper-specific example as if that argue, and then 2 minutes later you went to the next bit and went, dude, you don't give me any specific examples. This is what I mean. This isn't.
Can you give an example?
We're having obviously yes, multiple examples.
Okay, but that's not a yes or no question. Like I'm asking you, can you give me an example of something? It should be easy. I can perhaps even think about like what if I thought about it hard enough, I feel like I can come up with something.
At this point, I'm like now because I'm bored of his perspective. I know that he's not going to give me one, so I'm like now I'm thinking about talking points for him, dude.
Yeah.
Media, television, Nazis in the White House, and we must resist.
At that point, it's like it's over, right? Do I just like kick him off the Discord? I'm like, get the fuck out of here, you little bitch, and
well,
then
I mean, like,
and then move
you can
on.
like bat him around a couple other topics, but like, yeah, I mean, like, it's just so frustrating. Like, I have so many of these conversations, and it's just so irritating. Like, they spend all day online. You think they would at least pick up like some piece of factual information? But the thing is that like when you're so far lost down this rabbit hole, like things like facts don't matter anymore because you've got a story, and everyone else around you is telling you the story. Like all of his little friends on Twitter, like Thorin and stuff, are telling him the same story, and then he hears it from Breitbart and everything. And it's like, why would you waste your time like researching any of this? Like you already know it's true. You know, Daddy from the top down, you know, is telling you the same story the whole time. So it's like, yeah.
I just don't understand how you could like look at a Harvard study or whatever and then not necessarily like pick up on if you're constantly complaining about like negative coverage of Trump, then give me an example of what is negative that is hyperbolic, that isn't like exactly true. That's what's really frustrating. It's like, give me one example. He just literally said it's like throwing darts at a fucking dartboard. That's not an answer. If it's that easy, you should be able to easily fucking pull 4 off the top of your head. I'm not even asking for 4 here, however. I'm asking for 1.
Yeah, and like that's this. I have the same conversation about me, narcissistically enough, all the time. I did this with Dick Maston, where people say things like Destiny engages in disingenuous debate tactics all the time. He always tricks people and traps people using bad, disingenuous debate tactics. So every time I bring someone that says Hasan, I always say, okay, cool. Can you give me one example of me doing this? And they get incredibly indignant. Like, what? I'm not. What is this? Like, I can't memorize every single thing. Like, and it's like, dude, just give me one example of me doing this. I can't know every fucking thing. Like, just one example. And it's like, okay, yeah. And it feels like the same thing sometimes with Trump, yeah.
I just like, I don't know what to deal with that at that point. It's like, you're not trying to have a conversation. You just want to fucking let your side be heard and that's it. And go, you know, and just go unchecked complete.
Yeah.
Do you believe there's a possibility, as slight as it might be, that might inspire somebody to be violent in a country where we have ready access to firearms?
Okay, first of all, if the media is inciting violence, say by saying correctly that there are fascists. No. Okay, it doesn't matter. Dude, holy shit, this is actually very difficult because you are actually moving the goalpost. But
no, I'm not moving any goalpost.
Okay, let me clarify your statement. Okay.
I don't want you to clarify the question. You didn't answer the question.
No, I did. I said so just because something is hyper. Do you think?
No, the next question. I said
he's back to that fucking question again because he thinks he has me there, dude. Yeah. And that's the worst part is uneducated people who don't understand what the fuck is going on in this conversation think, oh, he does kind of have Hasan on his back, I guess. You know what I mean? We're like, a lot of people will look at that and go, well, you really didn't answer his question, Hasan, and not necessarily try to fucking see where I'm coming from, where it's like, this is not, and I don't know how to like make my point come across better.
Yeah, and it sucks because it's like you're sitting here, you're like trying to like, you're like both masturbating in front of each other, and you want to get off before the other person. And this is his statement where he wants you to say like, yes, okay, they're both hyperbolic, and then as soon as you say that, he's gonna fucking unload all over your chiseled fucking six-pack, Hasan. He's gonna fucking come all over you, and then he's gonna lean back, and you're gonna be like, okay, I said yes. Now, can you acknowledge that even though they're both hyperbolic, they're being made by totally different people, and that changes the context? But he doesn't care. He already blew his fucking load. Like anything you say past that point, he doesn't give a fuck about because he already fucking got his rocks off. Like that's the fucking irritating part about it.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous. Okay, let's keep going.
possibility in a country where people have already access to firearms and believe in freedom and don't want fascists to take over, right? Do you believe that if the media keep telling people that there are genuine neo-Nazis in the White House that are going to literally kill people if they get their way and put people in camps and all this other hypothesis, do you agree that maybe somebody might, interpret that and use pain to go out and be violent?
Like in the future,
well, no, it's already happened. Demonstrably,
what is the demonstrable? Like, first of all, you don't even mention
police
saying
shooting
stuff.
is
Okay,
one. Ricin being sent to Donald Trump's son is another. Ricin being sent. It was really weird.
Who said it in the media? Sorry, don't pause. Keep going. I'm just waiting for him to say it. Is he going to say it? He's never going to say it, is he?
Go through the news cycle for about 2 hours. I remember when Donald Trump opened the Ricin package, it literally wasn't even a daily news cycle. Then it's gone. And, I think that is something that, yes, in my opinion, I believe that the rhetoric pumped out by
mainstream media... Are you saying that Donald Trump opened, actually opened a letter with...
That's what I said.
Okay, so do you think that was covered, or that wasn't promptly covered, or it wasn't?
No, it didn't receive the same level of coverage commensurate to the threat that it posed.
So do you think that? And I'm asking.
Wait, are we saying Donald Trump himself opened Ricin?
No, he threw that in there, but we both know that that's not the case, and I just let it slide because I thought he said that accidentally. But it's Donald Trump Jr. receiving a package of ricin, or potentially something that looks like ricin, which I believe turned out was not ricin even. And he's saying that it didn't receive it didn't receive enough coverage in comparison to how
serious it was, whatever, yeah.
How serious it was. Except he didn't even open it, and it doesn't fucking matter because people get death threats and people get fake shit all the time. This is 12 fucking people in positions of power, 12 Democrats who the president is targeted literally, personally, receiving mail bombs. Of course it's going to get more coverage. But then this conversation turns around to other bullshit. Yeah, it was ground castor beans, but ground finely enough to make ricin. Okay, I was wrong. All right, I guess it was ricin.
Wait, was it? Hold on. Ricin Trump Jr.
By the way, when you look that up, guess what website you're going to get that off of? CNN, which means they did fucking cover it. That's the other thing that's really annoying to me. It's just you're reading this on what website, Richard Lewis? Oh, you're reading this on CNN? Well, I guess they did cover it, sir. I guess maybe you didn't catch it.
Okay, so this says that the piece of mail delivered to the Pentagon have initially tested positive for ricin. It didn't reach the White House, and it didn't enter the White House, so Trump Jr. never opened this.
Appeared to be connected to similar envelopes sent to Pentagon. An envelope addressed to President Donald Trump. 2 pieces of mail delivered to the Pentagon mail facility. Tested positive for ricin. And that's the thing. The Secret Service kept it a fucking secret. Perhaps because it was delivered to the Pentagon. You know what I mean? Maybe that's a part of the reason why it didn't get
and I mean, it wasn't even kept a secret. This was reported.
I mean, it wasn't. I know, but maybe the fact that there wasn't as much media intrigue surrounding this is because people get fucking suspicious packages all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And the difference is that it was intercepted by the Secret Service when it was addressed to the Pentagon, or when it was addressed to the president.
Oh, these weren't even sent to Trump. The 2 suspicious envelopes sent to the Pentagon were addressed to Secretary of Defense James Mattis and to Chief of Naval Operations Admiral John Richardson.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. It's not the fucking same thing.
Oh,
it's
my
not.
God.
It's so stupid. That's why I titled the debate the Richard Lewis Semantics Expert.
George Soros and 11 other prominent Democrats getting mail bombs is a matter of national news. At the same level, at the same potentially suspected ricin was detected in a mail sent to the Pentagon. It's because people get death threats all the time. I get death threats all the time, and I'm sure you have gotten death threats.
No doubt, some of your in line.
Watch this, dude. Watch this.
Oh boy.
One thing, and not what I'm saying at all. I'm sure I'll receive some more today. Which
Absolutely
is why,
not. First of all, that's speculation. Dude, come on. I don't think my viewers care or know anything or care enough to send you anything. Don't worry.
Okay,
but
I'll be tested.
Anyway,
wait, what is he saying? That he thinks that somebody's gonna mail him something?
No, he's saying that my enlightened viewers are gonna send him death threats as well.
Okay. Do you know why he's banned off of so much of the fucking internet, Reddit and shit?
Is he? I don't know. I don't know anything
he got
about
banned.
This guy.
Oh, dude, he's got a fucking hilarious. His history is more funny than mine. All right, he fucking he got in trouble with the League of Legends mods for some shit. I don't remember why. He was doing something that I don't know if initially it was his fault or whatever. But like he was like, you know what? If you guys are gonna be okay, wait, fuck. I don't want to do this irresponsibly. Like I could be wrong about this, but somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. But wasn't he basically saying that he was gonna dox all the League of Legends mods because if you guys are gonna moderate this subreddit, people deserve to know who you are? Didn't he essentially say that? Like. Wasn't that the whole reason why he got banned? He got like a Reddit-wide ban for that, didn't he? Like he got completely banned from all of Reddit, and his articles can't be submitted either. Lots of people in chat are saying yes. Yeah, but pretty much like I'm pretty sure Richard Lewis, because he got banned off of the R League of Legends site originally, that subreddit, and then he threatened to dox all the League of Legends mods because if they were going to ban him, people deserve to know the truth of who they actually are. So he wanted to like publish their full names and shit.
I just don't understand like who this person is or why he's even like someone that people pay attention to. I just know that one of my moderators actually likes his like investigative reporting when it comes to like esports. So I had heard his name before, and then he like wanted to come on my fucking chat. I don't know who the fuck this dude is.
Yeah.
I've never heard of Richard Lewis. I cover politics. He doesn't know who I am either, obviously, as demonstrated by the fact that like he came onto the stream fucking guns blazing, thinking that he was gonna like own me or some shit. You know what I mean? Like I'm shocked that he like came in, didn't do any sort of research beforehand, and thought, oh well, this is a liberal. We'll just have a conversation. We'll have a conversation, and then as soon as I started fucking asking him pointed questions, he kept running away like a little baby. And then, you know, in the end, fucking started launching accusations towards me, but this was really funny. Yeah, he thought that like Twitch was my only following. Like he thought that like my Twitch is my like primary source of income or like what I do for a living.
Mm-hmm.
Ridiculous. Hey everyone, please don't do that, okay? I don't think you will, but regardless. Where was I? Oh Jesus Christ, we went all over the place. All right, so you said like people get death threats all the time. Do you think it's a matter of national news when 12 prominent Democrats? Okay.
Absolutely.
Do you think that there was app coverage for effective rising as well, or that there was enough coverage? Like,
no, I mean,
is this a matter of like
actually think that it didn't happen. People in the chat saying this is fake news, it never happened. I mean, feel free. I'm sure we're all, you know, super deep political thinkers here that are capable of using Google.
No, the rising thing did happen, absolutely, but it's a frequent thing that happens all the time. And the only reason why, like, you're a journalist, you understand, like, man bites dog is
yes, it deletes is the famous.
Anyway,
when George Bush received Grayson, it was a national news story for at least a week.
Wait, was it George Bush receiving ricin?
George Bush did not receive ricin. George Bush received anthrax. And not George Bush, like a bunch of people received anthrax.
Okay, but that was literally right after fucking 9/11. Why would you fucking compare that? That was when people thought, in that time, people thought that like every person, like every political figure in America was going to get anthrax. They thought it was going to be the next huge fucking terrorist attack after fucking 9/11.
I know.
God.
And the fact that he tries to compare this to fucking
the two random fucking to General Mattis and the fucking admiral of the fucking Navy boppers. Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah, it's just so silly.
I mean, anthrax at a time when we were
anthrax,
at a time when it wasn't just George W. Bush. It was prominent leaders, not just George W. Bush, who was the fucking president, not president. And also at a time when we were at war, at a time when 9/11 had just happened. How do you compare these two instances and make it seem as though this is completely flat logic to be applied to this instance? You have to understand.
You don't think it's the same that
also, who cares?
No, I can't do it anymore. You don't think it's the same? What do you mean? How do you mean it's the same? We were at fucking 9/11. It was like one of the maybe the largest terrorist attack of the fucking world, like the history of the world. What do you mean? Is it the same?
People died too. Like people literally fucking died, dude. Like. Oh my God, it's so stupid, dude. Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's like they don't believe in context at all. Like it doesn't exist for conservatives. They don't understand context or anything. Like,
yeah.
All right, keep going a little bit longer. God. I can't take much more of this, so I'm just giving you a warning. Go ahead.
You don't think it's the same or remotely comparable that General Mattis, the president's son, well, again, suspected, right?
It wasn't the president's son. He's lying, but okay. Or maybe he's misinformed.
No, the president's son getting cornstarch was a separate incident. That was a separate issue that he's conflating.
Oh, okay. So let me look this up real quick, just so I know.
Yeah. So the president's son Donald Trump Jr. got sent cornstarch
which they suspected as ricin, and then the Pentagon got actually like ricin, but it wasn't the president's son in that point. It was just like General Madison shit.
All right, I'll look for this later.
All right, Piccolo, thank you, Piccolo, thank you for keeping thank you for trying to clarify it even back then. When you were in that debate, but
to President Bush and some of his leaders and stuff. Do you see no similarity there with those two stories?
No, I think that one is definitely a more interesting news story, which is why it got, especially because on top of everything else, these were people that were directly targeted by Donald Trump. The president has literally met, like, why else? Why on earth would anyone ever send Maxine fucking Waters, or even better, hold on, not even Maxine Waters, Al Pacino and fucking
or not Al Pacino, it was Robert De Niro. I always mistake the two, by the way. I don't know if anyone else does that.
It's okay.
This is a very foreign thing, dude, but like Robert De Niro and Al Pacino are fucking the same to me, dude.
Okay.
And ever since I was a little child, I've always had this problem.
Sure.
Why would they, like?
Well, Maxine Waters, there was that clip of her, wasn't there, where she was saying we need to resist, and if you see people in a garage or a supermarket, you should, let me finish the sentence. This is not how conversations.
Well, you're paraphrasing,
right?
and you're
no, yeah, I am paraphrasing. I was going to say that. Quote,
Mr. fucking Words Matter, Mr. fucking like.
Wait, who's he talking about right now?
Maxine Waters, dude. He's like he's gonna make the same. He's gonna make the argument that like Maxine Waters was inciting violence when she wasn't inciting.
When she was saying
violence.
what was the quote that he's referring to?
She said something like, if you see, like, referring to legislators, when you see them, surround them in a restaurant, surround them and make them uncomfortable. Make them uncomfortable. That's literally what that that's what her fucking quote was. We can look at the exact quote, but it was like about legislators, including herself. Maxine Waters is also a legislator. So, like, you know what I mean? It wasn't even, and also, everyone really immediately was like, oh, you're wrong. Like, every single Democratic leader shat all over Maxine Waters. I thought that it was fine that she said that.
CNN's coverage of this, their title is literally Maxine Waters encourages supporters to harass Trump administration officials. So even CNN doesn't seem supportive of this.
Yeah, but also, again, very important point here, encourages Trump administration officials, people in positions of power. That is drastically different than inciting violence towards like specific people. People in positions of power getting rallied around by American citizens who have to fucking live with the impact of their legislative decisions, with the consequences of the decisions that these people in positions of power make, is drastically different than go and fucking like Maxine Waters, something will be coming for you. Like literally, Donald Trump.
I'm gonna listen.
Donald Trump.
Or go ahead.
What? Oh, okay. No, go watch it if you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give me 3.5 minutes. 1 sec. I'm just playing it real quick.
How dare you separate children from their parents? How dare you pull children out of the arms of their mothers? How dare you lie and say you couldn't do anything about it? You're the one who caused it, and you're the one that we're going to make to turn it back, because what you're doing now is lying. The American people have put up with this president long enough. What more do we need to see? What more lies do we need to hear? It is time for us to say, even though there are those who don't want us to say it, Mr. President, you need to be impeached. He has done more than is needed to be impeached. But putting this on top of all that he has done, his alignment with Russia and Putin, his love of the dictators of the world, how he has not said one word about the fact that they tapped into our DNC, underlined our democratic process. He's not said one thing about it, but he can wrap his arms around another dictator, Kim Jong-un, and tell us we ought to swallow it. We're through it to him, Mr. President. We're not going to swallow it. We're not going to swallow it. You have disrespected all of us. You have violated all of us. And now you have sacrificed our children for your aims and your goals just because you want to build a wall. Mr. President, there will be no wall built on the back of these children. You lied. You lied and you said you were going to make Mexico pay for it. They're not going to pay for it. We're not going to pay for it. You're going to find these children. You're going to reconnect them with their families, and we're going to get you out of office. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you so much for coming out here, because history is not going to be kind to this administration. But we want history to record that we stood up, that we pushed back, that we fought, that we did not consider ourselves victims of this president. History will record that while he tried to step on all of us, we kicked him in his rear and we stepped on him. And And so the president, who lies all the time, who will change on the drop of a dime, the president is watching what is going on, and the only reason he came up with this fake initiative of his is to try and say to the people that he's seeing come out in huge numbers, okay, I'm sorry, I'm scared, I'm going to back it up, but he didn't back it up enough. He didn't back it up enough, because that initiative that he put out does not define how they're going to connect these children with their parents. They don't know where our children are. They don't have numbers or identification where they can connect parents, and some parents have been deported, and the children are still here somewhere. That's unconscionable. And between this president and that racist Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, and John Kelly, they all said that they were going to do this. They said publicly that they were going to separate these children from their parents in an issue that they're trying to use to get that wall built so they can intimidate all of us. But again, the message has to be, Mr. President, we're not afraid of you. We're not afraid of Jeff Sessions. We're not afraid of John Kelly. We're not afraid of your administration. And while you think you have gotten away with everything that you've done, we are going to show you that you haven't gotten away with anything. We want the children back. We want them connected to their parents. We want it done now. We're going to insist on it. If you think we're rallying now, you ain't seen nothing yet. Already, you have members of your cabinet that are being booed out of restaurants, who have protesters taking up at their house, who's saying no peace, no sleep. No peace, no sleep. And guess what? We're going to win this battle, because while you try and quote the Bible, Jeff Sessions and others, you really don't know the Bible. God is on our side. On the side of the children, on the side of what's right, on the side of what's honorable, on the side of understanding that if we can't protect the children, we can't protect anybody. And so, let's stay the course. Let's make sure we show up wherever we have to show up. And if you see anybody from that cabinet, in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere. We've got to get the children connected to their parents. The children are suffering. We don't know if the shock that they're going through can ever be overcome. We don't know what damage is being done to these children. All that we know is they're in cages, they're in prisons, they're in jails. I don't care what they call it. That's where they are. And Mr. President, we will see you every day, every hour of the day, everywhere that we are, to let you know you cannot get away with this. Thank you so very much.
Okay. All right. I'm here. Wait, can you hear me?
Hey, sorry, I had muted myself as well. We were talking about the fucking gerrymandering and like the overall number of Democrats that vote, like the overall number of Democratic votes in comparison to the overall like Republican votes keeps growing and growing. Like that difference is like at some point in like the next 10 years, I feel like it's going to be like 20% more Democrats voted, and yet you know like Republicans still maintain majority. So, and then someone was asking the question, well, what about the Senate? That doesn't pertain to the Senate. No, the Senate is even worse, because California, which has like, what, 46 million fucking people living in it, gets 2 representatives. And that is like, that's the total of like 10 different states combined. You know what I mean?
I mean,
that's how...
if we can have a conversation about that, but I mean, I think that's okay. It triggers the fuck out of a lot of libs, but I mean, like, the Senate exists for a good reason, I think.
Yeah, no, it's supposed to be a deliberative body and whatever, and it's supposed to be a different set of rules and
well, it's supposed to be a way to make it so that people can't just say like, I don't care about the whole middle part of the U.S. and the smaller states, and we're going to campaign to literally 2 or 3 different states because aside from Florida, Texas, and California, fuck the rest of the union, right? The Senate is supposed to keep every state invested in the union and the success of the union, right? I know that the Senate triggers the fuck out of a lot of people, but I think that ideologically, I think there's a good reason for it to exist, but...
No, I understand that, and that's a similar argument launched towards the Electoral College as well. But these are things that are like greatly, in my mind, and maybe I'm completely incorrect, but these are things that I think greatly contribute to the fact that people feel like their voices don't really matter, because we have no like, we don't have like a representative democracy, I guess. Like we don't have any sort of like direct consequence of our votes. Like we don't do referendums.
Well, I mean, you have a lot greater, you've got like a lot greater presentation in the House, right? Representation in the House.
What do you mean? Oh, as far as like, I know, but even that is gerrymandered out the dick. You know what I mean? Like, so that even that it turns out to be like, yes, I'm circumcised, Hasan circumcision. Holy fuck! I can't believe you made like an entire account for. What the fuck? Twitch allowing people to change their usernames is a terrible decision, dude. Oh no, this person created an account two minutes ago. Never mind. All right, fuck off, dude. You're banned. We've had a circumcision is an interesting conversation as well.
Oh,
that debate. Have you seen everyone watch American Circumcision? It's a fucking insane documentary, but also very well made. Anyway, all right, let's keep going.
Throw that in there, but that got circulated by a lot of right-wing media publications, like I don't know, all these fucking hacks, like what's that fucking piece of shit called Jack Posobiec, who pretends to be a news guy or whatever. You know, they started circulating that clip, and obviously it got a lot of traction because that's the kind of clips that, you know, people entrenched in anti-liberal thinking like to watch, right? So that's, you telling me that guy couldn't possibly have seen that clip? I'm not saying Donald Trump is a part of the problem. What I'm saying is the media on both sides.
Literally no, that's not a media thing. Jack Posobiec is a part of the alt-right media infrastructure. That's still part of the right-wing thing.
I don't know if I agree with characterization.
Okay,
but I don't think he's a hack piece.
Hold on.
Well, no, I don't even agree with that. That's a stupid term. The alt-right is a stupid term. And it's an example of when the leftists like to dog whistle themselves. You know, but they call other people out the dog whistle. He's saying this person isn't actually really good. You can't prove it when you label some alt-right.
No.
Wait,
Oh
what?
my God. Yeah, the worst part about it is that like alt-right and alt-right is a distinction that was created by the alt-right.
Well, I think it wasn't. Am I wrong?
No,
wasn't Donald Trump the first person to say that after the Charlottesville riots that we have to do something with the alt left?
No. I'm talking about alt-light. Alt-light is and this is because I definitely like roam the dark, seedy underbelly of the internet quite frequently. And that's why I know about these like different distinctions and different terminologies and whatever. But the alt-light is just, they rail about like Lauren Southern would be alt-light. She's not alt-right. And the only difference between the alt-right, no, just hold on. Okay. And she describes herself differently as well, but you'll understand exactly what I mean. The only difference is they talk about the same stuff. They talk about like ethno-states and whatnot, or even a white ethno-state in some instances. But the only difference between the alt-right and the alt-right and the alt-light is that alt-right then turns around. They argue about the same shit, but the alt-right will say it's the Jews that are responsible. The alt-light, on the other hand, will just complain about the problems and never point the finger at like Jews. It's the difference between the Jew, like the JQ difference is what they call it internally. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand. I don't know if Lauren Southern specifically mentions Jews or not, but otherwise she dog whistles every other point.
Oh, no. That's literally what it is. These guys all dog whistle the exact same points, but the only difference is that people in the alt-right then turn around and say, "Oh, it's the Jews that are responsible for, you know, like a multi-ethnic society or like multiracial society in the United States in order to control, you know."
Yeah. Wait, hold on 1 second. Okay, go ahead.
$200 per minute, new record.
Both sides or whatever, and both sides have fault. But like,
oh fuck! What did I do? God damn it! I hate it when this shit happens, dude. What? I have big ass fucking hands, and I accidentally, when I was pressing unmute, I actually ended up pressing like 3 or something or 9, and it took me all the way to the fucking end of the video, dude. All the way to the end of the video. I don't even know where the fuck we were at before. Hold on, I think it was right here though. Yeah, it was just so silly because like. Oh, this is the part you're gonna want to hear.
I hate Mexicans. Mexicans bad. Mexicans tough.
Oh, we did the Mexican conversation.
Immigration. So it's biased towards the Democratic Party. You know,
this is fine.
With making all my personal stances are, you know, obviously I'm pro-immigration, I'm pro-trans rights, I'm pro-gay marriage, I'm pro-legalization of drugs, I'm pro-abortion. There is no way you could ever label me a Republican.
Are there instances where you like leftist ideas then?
Yeah, absolutely.
I haven't watched any of your videos. Okay, so I really don't know what your like broad spectrum of opinions represent. You don't seem like a
pro-abortion is pro-choice, obviously. Sorry.
Anyway, no, it doesn't matter. You can say pro-abortion.
No, I think that's actually a really ugly framing of it. That's the core
Do you think with him having all those positions then, do you think that he's been critical of another Supreme Court justice that's a conservative that might threaten abortion? Or that he's been critical of all the insane anti-immigration sentiment in the United Kingdom or the United States? Or that he said anything about, what was the other position that he mentioned? I don't even know. I wonder if he's made
trans rights.
Oh, trans rights? Do you think I can find tweets of Richard Lewis? So if I Google Twitter, Richard Lewis, Donald Trump, trans, do you think that I'm going to find... Do you think I'm going to find statements of Richard Lewis saying that...
I don't know. I don't even give a shit about his, like, if he's lying to me.
Well, it's just, it's annoying when... I don't like it when people... Because what he's doing right now, ironically enough, is he's virtue signaling. He's trying to say, well, look, I really do care about all these issues. It's like, okay, cool. I do. And when these issues are attacked publicly, I make statements about them because I do care about them. I care about trans rights in the United States. And when Trump attacks them, I make statements about them. So I would imagine if you do care about these things, I'm sure you've mentioned when they've been attacked before. If you haven't, then it makes it sound like you're virtue signaling these. You want me to feel like you care about these things, but in reality you don't. And your track record kind of shows that. Like you've never, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Trump, because it seemed to me like you kind of were like you kind
No, I absolutely don't. Look, here's what I would rather the media were doing. I'd rather the media were sticking it to him over things that he's definitely done, rather than hyperbolic abstractions of things that he's done.
But I've asked you specifically, give me...
Oh, by the way, just this is a completely separate note, but the thing I was mentioning is 9 million more people voted for Democratic senators in the GOP's, and then the GOP won 3 seats.
Nice.
Ultimately. 9 million more people voted for Democratic senators than GOP senators. Fuck, dude. That's madness.
Like what kind of hyperbole, like the media specifically has done?
Well, look, it's little things. It's linguistic. For example, when he talked about, they're not sending their best, that was kind of portrayed in the media as he was referring to all Mexicans.
But he did. But he said Mexico's sending. First of all, Mexico's not sending.
Meaning, well, that's true because he's a fucking idiot.
Okay, hold on. But look, context, and I'm sure you probably understand this. You probably agree that context absolutely matters in this, right? We agree, right? Sure. Okay. So contextually speaking, would you say that Donald Trump is not anti-Mexican? Then I don't understand. Like, do you think?
No, I think. Point of view when it comes to Mexican immigration.
So he has a national.
It's an absurd point to take as an American president, because the country couldn't work without Mexican immigration. And obviously, this is somebody who is looking at in his mind. Okay, he's looking at a problem and he's thinking only of a solution. And in his childlike way, in his very uncouth and unsophisticated way, he is saying we need to have a ban on all of these groups, and it's absurd. It wouldn't even fix the problem. Building a wall, that doesn't fix anything.
I like how I like how fucking if a Democrat. Do you remember? I don't know if you remember this.
I might.
Do you remember when Obama leaned over and was talking to a Russian ambassador and he said, I'll have more flexibility after the elections to talk about certain things? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So, like, I understand that statement, right? Like, you talk about certain things coming up for election season and then prior. You're right. You're right. People blew this out to mean fucking so much shit that when Obama said this, he was literally about to fucking throw the United States under the bus. It's like, once the election's over, I'm going to fucking kill my whole fucking goddamn country and we're going to fucking bring in Putin and we're going to fucking run this shit. Like, people made that out to be so fucking bad. But when Trump literally says, like, when Mexico sends their immigrants, they're not sending their best. They're rapists, thieves, and murderers, and some of them are good people, I imagine. When he says that, he's just being dumb. He's just being a dummy old Trumpy. That's it. Like, come on. Are you fucking serious?
Or when he brings in, like, Russian oligarchs into the White House and has, like, conversations that pertain to, like, Russian oligarchs that with direct connection to Putin, obviously, or the Russian ambassador, and he reveals, like, state secrets in front of them and shit like that. That's totally acceptable. And I'm not even like a part of the Russian hysteria train at all, but like that, like the apologia, the level of mental gymnastics that these people fucking engage in to defend Donald Trump is mind-boggling to me. And then like it's always, for some reason, for centrists, for a lot of centrists, it's always playing a fuckload of mental gymnastics to like justify the shit that Donald Trump does.
And then as soon as someone on the liberal side even like sneezes wrong, it's like, oh, there you go, dude. Just as bad. Just as fucking bad. It's like, just admit that you're a Republican and move on with your life. I promise you will have a much more comfortable existence if you could just be comfortable with what your political ideology is. It's so weird. It's so weird. Anyway.
And make is you don't need to lie about that statement and exaggerate that statement. It was the same with.
But what was the exaggeration? If we know what Donald Trump's perspective is, if he thinks, for example, that like a Mexican judge is not going to be able to give him a
well, that was based on his race. That was based on his race.
He said it's because he's Mexican. He said he's Mexican, and I'm like,
no. What he said. He said because he was somebody who had a Mexican immigrant family, he didn't feel he would give him a fair shake on matters pertaining to Mexican immigration. Now, again, I think it's an absurd thing for a president to call out a judge's impartiality. It's disgusting, but he didn't do it because he was a Mexican. He did it specifically on that.
Wait, what? He didn't do it because he was a Mexican. He did it because he was from a Mexican immigrant family? What the fuck is the difference between these two fucking statements?
I know.
He didn't do it because he was black. He did it because his mom and dad were black, and then he was black because they were black. What the fuck kind of dumb fucking statement is this? That's so fucking stupid. Oh my god.
Yeah. No, it's really dumb, and that's why I'm saying like the semantics expertise here is just excellent.
Because the judge's family, I believe, was he's an American, by the way. He's of Mexican descent.
Yeah, he's of Mexican descent.
Yes, and he had Mexican immigrant family. So what Trump was saying was because of that fact, and again, I don't agree with that. Because of that fact, he didn't feel the judge would be able to disassociate himself from his own prejudices and be fair towards Donald Trump. Now, I don't agree with that, but it's not, I hate Mexicans, Mexicans bad, Mexicans can't be judges because they're inferior, which is, again, the type of rhetoric that is evolved.
I like, this is also like,
yeah,
this is very revealing. Yeah, well, this is very revealing also. Whenever you call out this, Republicans will do this funny thing where you're like, dude, you hate Mexicans, you hate Muslims, like you're talking shit about black people, like are you kind of racist? And they're like, well, actually, Muslim isn't a race and Mexican isn't a race.
Love you, buddy.
And it's like, okay, but you're talking about brown people. Like, no, I'm talking about, okay, fine. But then when they talk about things like the Mexican judge, what do you mean Mexican judge? You mean the American judge? Because he was born on American soil. That guy isn't American just as much as you are. Well, if you're talking about Richard Lewis, he's more American than you are. So why do you keep referring to him as Mexican? Like, you mean the Hispanic judge? Like, I love when people mix up all those words because in their head, like, brown, immigrant, illegal immigrant, refugee, Mexican, it's like all the same fucking shit in the back of their mind. But go ahead.
The other part here that he's engaging in, the other thing that he's saying is like, well, you know, he didn't say that like all Mexicans are inferior. He just said that this specific Mexican can't, you know, fairly adjudicate or something. Yep. And it's like, okay.
Also, keep in mind on that,
because he's from a Mexican family.
In that same debate, later on, Trump, or in that same conversation later on, Trump went on to say that no Muslim judge could sit on any of his shit either. So I mean, but.
Yeah. Well, I didn't even know that. Holy shit. But my point here is like, well, one, like you don't have to just say Mexicans are inferior. You can still racially discriminate against someone because you don't think that they're fucking inferior, but because you think like they inherently have this sort of bias against you. That's still discrimination. Mm-hmm. And that's the point I was making. But either Richard Lewis, again, we face two options here, as always, okay? A, Richard Lewis does not understand or like does not know what racial discrimination entails, and it doesn't always have to have a supremacist attitude. It can just be discriminatory, especially if you're the president, then it's a lot more damaging. Or B, he completely understands this, and he's just going to keep carrying water for white supremacists or fascists, or in this instance, a proto-fascist dictator, potential dictator like Donald Trump.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing here. Is one or the other. There's no other alternative here.
Saying that Trump literally specifically saying he could not be impartial because he was Mexican. He did say that. You want to read the context behind it and say that, well, that actually means because he has like because he wasn't even Mexican, as you pointed out. Well, that actually means that he has like Mexican immigrant parents, and that's why he can't be. You do understand that is literally the definition. That is the definition of racial discrimination, especially more jarring. Well,
he's not discriminating on the basis. He's doing it because some fucked up idea.
That's why I didn't say no. I didn't say
What an idiot, dude.
It's not because of race. It's because of some fucked up idea. Like, oh my god.
No, but like his point is like, no, I think his point is like, maybe I misunderstood it, but I thought his point was like, well, you know, he's not saying Mexicans are inferior. It's like, no, dude, just saying that like Mexicans can't fairly judge me is still racial discrimination. You know what I mean? Or like brown people can't judge me fairly. It's still racial discrimination. It's still based on race, and he's not even. I mean, I don't know. He's attacking that, I think. But hold on.
Your race, causing you to impartial or not being able to have it exclusively on the basis of your race is literally racial discrimination. It doesn't. Racial discrimination doesn't necessarily have to be because, you know, I think that Mexicans are inferior to whites. You understand that, right? Like, do you know what like racial discrimination is, or?
Of course, yes. Actually,
okay,
I've worked in a local government dealing with these types of issues. So, yes,
so you understand then that is literally racial discrimination. To say that someone, because of their background, because they have Mexican family members, can't deliver an impartial perspective, that is racial discrimination.
I do not, in my mind, that doesn't align with saying that it is exclusively a race issue. I don't think that. I think what Trump was that this person, I have a tough immigration. This person is one generation immigrant.
Do you think Donald Trump is a tough? Do you really think that sending 15,000 troops to the border
is 1,500?
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter.
Also, keep in mind, I don't know if Richard Lewis fucking knows this or not. The case that this judge was sitting on was about the fucking Trump University shit. It had nothing to do with the fucking wall shit at all. I don't know if he knows that or not, but the judge had nothing to do with like the fucking any of that shit.
Yeah.
Firstly. Secondly, federal judges need good reason to recuse themselves from cases. They can't just do it willy-nilly. So like the idea that this judge should have just stepped back doesn't even make fucking sense, but yeah, okay.
I mean, on the basis of his race, especially. It's like you're literally saying that like, oh well, you know, I'm really mean to black people, so like I don't think this black person can fairly, like, I don't think this black person can strip themselves of their black identity, and fairly like give me a fair trial. That is still racial discrimination. Like this notion that like you can't escape your race or you can't escape your background is still the assumption that like you know, only white people don't face this. You know what I mean? Like white people don't have this problem. So that would still be considered racial discrimination. Doesn't matter if the judge is Mexican. He still should be capable of delivering an impartial judgment on this instance.
As is, like, by the way, I don't even know if they're gonna fucking literally send that many, and if he's just like being hyperbolic or whatever, wet dumb baby. But that's 5,000 more troops than the. Okay, so do you think that that's just it's just like being tough on immigration, or do you think that there's like there's an alternative there, or for example,
how would you categorize Asian?
First of all, that's literally what that is. If you were to open fire on Mexican soil because of people who are legally inside the borders of Mexico because they are legal asylum seekers, some of which will stay in Mexico, the majority of them will, historically, as other caravans have done. Yes, that is literally an act of fucking violence against Mexico.
What I asked you, Donald Trump is sending the troops out. No, he's doing it because he wants to, in his mind, shore up the borders, which is a tough immigration stance. I think it's a fair characterization.
Wait, do you think so? Okay, then like, what? I'm a little confused here because you are claiming that Donald Trump opening fire on unarmed Honduran citizens, using the force of the military to fire on people who are legally on Mexican is just tough immigration policy.
So what you're saying is
very clever that you're turning around and using the exact wording that I've mentioned against me. Very clever, sir.
Dude, I get so many people that are saying like, wait a second, like, well, wait, that's not fair. And I was like, dude, I'm just quoting what you said back at me. Like, what do you just get? Like, you're fucking twisting everything. Okay, well, dude, like, it's what you just said. Like, fuck, like, clarify it for me then. Like, fuck, don't get mad at me. I'm just trying to understand what the fuck crazy shit you're talking about.
Yeah.
Talking solely about sending 1,500 troops down to shore up the borders. Okay, that's all I'm talking about.
Not 1,500, 15,000.
That's a tough immigration stance.
To shore up the borders.
We already have legally coming in. Yes, and that is why it's called shoring it up. He wants to send more down there because he thinks the measures we have in place are insufficient. That's why it's a tough immigration stance. This, again, is like you're jumping ahead to things that haven't even happened right now and saying this is an act of war against Mexico because if he shoots a Honduran on Mexican soil, that would be a literal invasion. Well, okay,
that's literally how that works.
Dude, no one.
He's like, it doesn't matter. No one's been shot yet, dude. It doesn't matter that the president literally said, shoot at them if they throw a rock at you. And also, I'm sending 15,000 troops at the border.
You know what I mean? So like you're debating a fantasy. It hasn't happened. I'm saying, look,
the president literally just said.
said
The president
yes,
literally earlier just said that if they're
go on
throwing
rockets, we will
rocks,
open
if they're throwing
fire.
rocks.
Are you familiar with the details of this, Destiny, or?
No, I haven't heard about this before.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, the president actually said, like, you know, if they're throwing rocks at you, you can. I'm giving you the authorization to fucking fire, which, by the way, is illegal. Also, on top of that, with something that I forgot to mention in this debate is that they're also bringing barbed wire, like thousands of miles of barbed wire to put on the border. Both of these things could technically be considered war crimes. Not even technically. The rock against a weapon, like shooting your weapon against a rock, that's literally a war crime. Like if you do that in Afghanistan, it is absolutely a fucking war crime. Like you're not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I see it. Yeah.
Stupid Trump-esque quote, but he hasn't. Right, when we open up fire on foreign soil, right? Well, then it will have your point. But it hasn't happened.
Should we wait for that,
right?
then? Is that what you're
But it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, I love that,
So
dude. It
these are
hasn't
the-
happened yet.
These are the same people that say if we allow liberals to indoctrinate our children at college, then these children will go on and they'll take high-level official positions, and then once they're there, they're going to petition the public in order to become more PC and SJW, and then they're going to get legislation passed that's going to be interpreted unfairly, like the C-16 bill in Canada, and then that's going to be used to lock up conservatives, and then that... Right, this is the whole chain they'll go through. But when Trump literally says... Consider it a rifle, he said. When they throw rocks like they did to the Mexican military police, consider it a rifle. When Trump literally says that, well, they haven't shot yet. Like, okay.
No, that's the really fucking, that's the really frustrating part of it.
Penn City will be holding legal asylum seekers indefinitely. Like, do you think it literally has to say Arbeit macht frei on the fucking walls for you to go like, oh, well, you know what, that is a concentration camp. What do you think it could be a concentration camp? Even if it doesn't fucking literally, like, people literally don't speak.
We jump forward, sir.
Do you think the Germans had a tough like stance on nationalism? Like, what do you? I don't understand.
Well,
Like, what is the point where you'll say it's not tough?
You know, like, I heard you deliver that speech just by coming on the things. You don't need to repeat it. Look, what I'm saying is actually.
I want to hear your perspective. That's why I'm delivering it again.
So, specifically, what perspective would you like me to deliver?
What is the point where you will say, "Oh wow, like okay, Donald Trump, maybe this is beyond tough immigration." Like for example, this is literally the cornerstone of white. Okay, birthright citizenship, ending birthright citizenship. Is
Actually, I'm glad you brought that up. That is absurd. I made that point last night on my own stream.
Okay, so that's too much. So you have.
I don't consider it white nationalism. I consider that definitely very strong nationalism. That yes, definitely echoes fascistic, governments that existed in history. But again, you can find parallels with other presidents that have done things that I don't want to go straight to Nazism. I don't want to go straight to fascism. That's extreme. What he proposes there is ridiculous.
It's just very strong nationalism.
That to me is starting to get into the fringes of extreme nationalism. The idea you have no birthright to where you're.
This is my favorite part where he's like, no, it's just strong nationalism. Strong nationalism. Like, that's what people were memeing after that. It's like, no, dude, it's not. It's like, you're just substituting strong for white. That doesn't change the fact that what the fuck is going on. Like, what happens? And I had an argument with somebody yesterday about this. They said, what happens if someone's in the country for 2 days and they give birth? I mean, these are fucking fringe cases. I mean, I don't know how deep you need to go to pull that bullshit out your asshole, because that must happen like once a year or something. Like fucking Jesus levels of immaculate conception going on. But even so, yes, do I think that person has the right to be a citizen? Absolutely. I think Donald Trump, again, I'm so sick and tired of him tweeting shit out and thinking that makes it law, like he did with this stupid fucking trans ban in the military he tried to implement. Somebody really needs to get hold of the fucking reins and stop him tweeting. But again, I know there's no way this will go through. There's no way. You would have to repeat the Constitution. It wouldn't go through.
Yeah, like the Supreme Court is in most of the conservatives we've ever had in history. But so he will potentially use as a test case. That is a very likely reality that this could genuinely go all the way to the Supreme Court. And the thing is, like, these aren't just tweets, dog. Like when Donald Trump just says like, "Oh man, we really need to ban trans troops." Like, well, what the fuck's happening to trans troops right now? Despite with the general, what is happening to trans people right now is a racial.
Well, the military ban didn't go through.
Okay, but you understand that
real quick, can I fact check where I specialize? I'm gonna. The military ban did effectively go through. The only thing stopping it is General Mathis, and he is the only person that has the executive power to state why a trans person is eligible and not kicked out. And once Donald Trump realizes he's not kicking anyone out, it will go the rest of the way into effect.
Well, Alan, that's not a fact check.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
you literally fact check up to a point. You said.
by the way, so this is Izzy. She's my she's a trans military veteran, so she like hopped in here and was like, yeah, no, it's you're wrong.
Yeah.
Realizes Mattis isn't banning people.
No, but the ban did go through. That memo did end up passing, and that is effectively military fucking protocol right now.
But there
The
hasn't been
only
a single
exception that
trans
was
person
made
in the
is that
military.
Mattis has executive decision over if a person is eligible, and not to be kicked out because he deems them so.
So no trans people have been banned from the military.
Incorrect.
Who has?
There are trans people who have been removed from service. I would have to
It's like somebody's holding a gun and they aim at you, and then they fire, but you're wearing a bulletproof vest, and you're like, that motherfucker just shot me, and then he's like, wait, didn't you
Well,
have a
you didn't
vest on?
die?
Didn't you have a vest on? And you're like, yeah, and he's like, okay, well then, did he really shoot you? Like, yeah, motherfucker, what do you mean?
Oh, I mean, you didn't die though. Well, Steven, you didn't die. Normally, when someone shoots you, you're supposed to kill them. Like, oh Jesus, it's so stupid.
That happened almost immediately in multiple cases.
Also,
They
this was
were,
a trans veteran,
discharged out.
just for the record.
Like, yeah, I handle this on a state and national level for a daily. I'm on the board of directors for the largest trans-led nonprofit in the country.
Okay.
So, like, this is my life. That's why I chimed in. So you are actually incorrect. You may not know the memo did technically go into effect.
Okay,
There are just
I would still like to see
slight
very much which trans people have been removed from the military on the face.
Name some names.
So earlier, major members of the media were calling for violence against Trump. Can't name a single one of those people, but I want to know exactly which trans soldiers have been kept from. Okay, dude. Okay.
It's so silly, dude. I like, my problem is like, I don't know how to fucking ensure that like everyone that's watching this at this point understand completely that this person has been brutally annihilated or brutally humiliated. You know what I mean? Like, that's my like, I don't know how to do that. Like, I don't know how to fucking how to really like hammer that point in, because I know that like a lot of people who are watching that, right? Like, I know a lot of people are still going, well, I don't know. Seems like Richard's doing a good job. Like, it seems like he's holding his own. You know what I mean? And I'm just that's what's frustrating to me. Like, I don't know what kind of debate tactics I would need to engage in to make sure that like people genuinely see that
I don't know.
at that point.
The problem is that these guys never cede a single point and won't give you any fucking ground ever. Like, it's insane, but yeah.
Yeah. Wait, what happened with my mods?
Because I think you're wrong there. I understand your level of expertise, so apologies for doubting you, but I do not believe that's true, because I think it would have been a much bigger deal.
I will go find my cited sources for that. I'm going to let you guys continue. I just wanted to chime in the memo did go in effect.
Thanks very much.
Oh, also, by the way, Izzy's telling me right now that she cited him 4 sources, so.
Because I do welcome you correct if I'm wrong. If you can link me to.
The reason why we started talking about this, because Trump's tweets aren't just necessarily tweets. They have legislative consequences. And those legislative consequences have real impact on real human beings' lives. Another recent thing that's happening with transgender rights right now, and by the way, Nicholas Blade was kicked out as a consequence of being trans. One of my moderators just linked that. And that was like the really quick Google search. But like there are very real consequences for trans people, even though they go far beyond Donald Trump's tweets. Just like there are very real consequences when Trump consistently incites violence, when his followers go out and actually murder people or try to murder people, or people who have similar opinions who are also being inundated with this kind of messaging, not just from Trump, by the way, from the right-wing media apparatus as well, constantly. That by the way, extend all the way to fucking extreme fringes of the right, but that get platformed on Fox News routinely. This is part of the reason why.
What extreme platforms is Fox put on?
What extremists are Fox News putting on their platform?
Clipper Zipper is a good fellow. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Is like nearly identical white nationalist rhetoric for the most part. I mean, Fox News is.
I think.
Okay, wait. Can we stop for 1 second?
What would you?
What extremist has Fox News put on? I mean, Sean Hannity was literally, I think, begged by the family of Seth Rich to fuck off, using him as like a piece of political propaganda. And it got so bad that Sean Hannity was actually told by Fox to fuck off, but he tweeted that he was still gonna like dig around on the side. So like, I mean, Sean Hannity is somebody that I would consider an extremist. Like, but okay.
No, but like, it's beyond that, dude. There are actual extremists that like they have on, and I named them that are like linked by like David Horowitz and Andrew Torba. Andrew Torba is literally the fucking founder of Gab, dude. And like Horowitz is also like
and the Gavin McInnes guy, yeah.
Yeah, Gavin McInnes. Like, there are plenty of fucking extremists that they put on their shows all the time. And then they also mirror white nationalist rhetoric. So then this conversation now gets to fucking Tucker Carlson, which I will promptly own him on again, and actually get him to, I think, admit that Tucker Carlson, yes, seems a little bad, I guess. Like, he'll say that.
More Ingram. These people rail against diversity.
Well, what is Tucker Carlson said that makes you think? I've seen no evidence.
Okay.
I love that, dude. I've seen no evidence of that. It's like, well, your ignorance does not necessarily mean that, like, it's not a reality.
Fucking Tucker Carlson. Imagine how fucking liberal you are, left-leaning you are, to defend fucking Tucker Carlson. Fucking kill me, dude.
No, I've seen no evidence of Tucker Carlson being a white nationalist.
Oh, white nationalist? Maybe not. I don't know, but fuck.
No, watch. By the way, just watch when it like, and you'll understand exactly what I mean, because I'm gonna put a video up in a second.
Diversity.
Yeah, I saw that. I remember when he
actively bring people from different cultures and that don't have any appreciation in an effort to drum up votes. What part of that doesn't seem like what they're trying? Do you think that they're basically need like different regions as well?
Well, I mean, listen, I don't think obviously Norwegian to very much with this administration. But again, I think to take the lead, and when we're talking about,
but where's the lead? If someone is saying exactly the same things that is it if Tucker Carlson says the 14 words on national television, is that when you'll say, okay, I guess he's a white nationalist?
If he said them within the context of meaning them and trying to convert people to that.
Nah, even if he fucking said the 14 words on television, still say that he's not a white nationalist. I love this. That's literally the fucking point. Like, even at that point, he's like, well, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he still wouldn't be a white nationalist, dude. Okay.
What I'm saying is,
so by that statement, you're just because he has a stronger word, we must secure the existence of children, doesn't necessarily mean that he doesn't routinely say the same exact thing every fucking night without saying the actual 14 words. He's literally promoting that ideology.
There's nothing in what he said about how exactly is diversity our strength. I mean, there's nothing in that segment even remotely comparable to.
By the way, that's only one segment. He does this almost every night now.
Like, well, let's just stick to the one.
Why don't we just stick to the one? He does this every night. Because
it's fresh in your mind. So, but why do you think him saying how exactly is diversity our strength? Why do you think it's comparable to the 14 words?
Why is diversity not our strength?
I don't agree with the statement, but he made an argument on the show where I've actually just brought the quote up here. Sorry to do that to you, but he said, how precisely is diversity our strength? Can you think of other institutions, marriage, military units in which the less people have in common, the more cohesive they are?
First of all, the military is incredibly diverse. Like our military is
again, yeah. I'm not.
I know, but he's making a false argument. Okay, here.
Okay, sure. But let me finish the quote. He said, "Do you get along better with your neighbors and co-workers if you can't understand each other or share no common? And if diversity is our strength, why is it okay for the rest of us to surrender our freedom of speech to just a handful of tech monopolies?"
I'm gonna message the video, then I'm gonna turn on.
What is that? How does that connect? Wait, I don't understand.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't. So at this point, I'm just like,
if diversity is our strength, then why do we surrender our freedom of speech to tech monopolies? What the fuck does it? How the fuck do those two things connect?
I don't know. I mean, again, it's all relating back to like personal grievances.
This is like a fucking expert level fucking quest, like to figure out how you get from that to that. Just like I feel like I'm playing fucking Where's Waldo, like the hard edition. I don't even know how you. Can somebody connect these dots for me?
I mean, at that point, I was more focused on like just trying to get him to fucking watch his video, which in the end, it's a good payout at least.
There's no need.
But that's one video. I'm giving you a compilation from a multitude of videos.
That's the transcript we're talking about. So
any other videos?
He's trying to.
What in that makes you think?
He's trying to fucking. He's trying to keep it to that one fucking transcript. Always, dude. He's like, he loves expanding boundaries when it suits him. And he loves fucking hyper focusing on one thing again if it suits his argument.
It's like the 14 words.
I didn't even listen, to be honest with you, but I think I know exactly what the video you're talking about. I messaged the video that if you would like to watch that, we can sit here and watch as well. Here's
but what in Carlson,
How
so
exactly-
even paraphrased in your mind, what
How
is
exactly
that
is
like?
diversity or strength? Railing against
Yeah.
multiculturalism and diversity, you understand that, right? It has nothing
Right,
to do with
this is the
America's the most
problem I
diverse
have.
country.
It's
America's
called dog whistle for what you want it to mean.
What do you
That
mean?
isn't
What
how
do you think?
argumentation works.
So what do you think? And also, you're not allowing context.
I think like a lot of right, I think like a lot of right-wing people, they have concerns about, you know, unfounded, about people from different cultures eroding the American norm. I don't agree with that. I myself am an immigrant, but I do not think it is the same as saying we must secure a future for the white race, because it isn't.
Wait, you realize that, no, that's literally what white nationalism. White nationalism
Well, actually isn't what white nationalism
no,
is.
I think you're white supremacy. Seems to me like you are. You understand?
I'm not.
Wanting America, okay? Wanting America to maintain its purity, the purity of the, like, it doesn't have to explicitly be.
Nowhere does.
You just said that. You derided that context. You literally just said
No,
that.
I didn't say that. I said he's like a lot of right. Again, to stress, I do not share these opinions, right? But like a lot of right,
I'm not
but I
saying
don't
you
agree
share it, but I'm saying you.
allow the characterizing Mr. Carlson as a white nationalist. That's part of it.
Okay, well, I sent you the video. Let's watch it. I just hear. I sent you the video. Let's watch it.
What is? Okay, what video is this? It's not a Vic Berger thing, is it?
No, it's not. It's Media Matters compilation of not just for Carlson's statements. Hold on, hold on.
So it's Media Matters. Okay.
Okay, you have to understand that like, it's not like they're.
I love this because he's like, oh, it's Media Matters, they're biased. Well, okay, but it's his words, dude.
I love that when I'll bring up something like, hey, like check out this Trump quote, blah blah blah, and it's like, it's a CNN like, dude, it's a fucking video of him talking. What the fuck is wrong with you? How poisoned is your fucking mind? Like, yeah.
Yeah, who fucking cares, dude? Who cares? Like where the it's his words.
Yeah.
It's not a mischaracterization. This is a side-by-side comparison. Okay, so this is all of the things. These are all
No,
the things.
no, there's no point with this video. No, I'm not.
Why is there no point in watching?
Right, because just because someone says the same things as somebody else or loosely the same things, right? I mean, like, you understand how ridiculous it is. Now, if you were saying absolutely verbatim,
watch the video then.
I don't need to watch it. To be a white
Why don't you want
nationalist,
to watch it? Why don't you want to watch it?
First of all, because it's a waste of time.
Why is it a waste of time? We have 3 minutes. We've been fucking talking.
I like also. This is like, dude.
He's so
listen
scared,
to what he's
dude.
saying right now. Listen to what he's saying right now. Just because these two people are saying the same things doesn't mean they mean the same things. So now you're saying context is important, but earlier when we were talking about hyperbolic statements, you didn't want to talk about who was saying what. It just mattered exactly what the statement was. If both were hyperbolic, they were both bad. It didn't matter who was saying it. But now context is very important. When people play, this is what I mean when I say a lot of people that play centrist that pretend to be liberals, they're not. Liberalism is a tool for an end. They don't actually give a fuck about liberal values. They're just using them to either win arguments or own the libs or whatever the fuck dumb shit they're doing. And this is how you can tell, like, oh, so Richard Lewis doesn't actually give a fuck about any of these values. He wears them as like convenient suits for whenever they support an argument that he's in favor of. That's it. He doesn't actually give a fuck about any of this shit intrinsically. And it's very obvious. It's very transparent when you see how he plays so fast and loose with these types of definitions in this conversation. But yeah.
I know.
Let me explain why, okay? Because unless this video contains footage of Tucker Carlson saying something along the lines of white people are under threat in this country.
He says that all the time. Let's watch the video. But let's watch the video.
I'm sure if he did, Media Matters would be all over it.
I mean, Media Matters is all over it, but let's just watch it.
Like, it's a fucking Media Matters video! Obviously for it. You fucking idiot. Oh my god.
Can you hear it?
Yeah, I'm watching it.
Okay, here.
Diversity. We hear about it nonstop. It's the mainstream motto.
How precisely is diversity or strength? If you made this our new national motto, please be specific. Can you think, for example, of other institutions such as, I don't know, marriage or military units, in which the less people have in common, the more cohesive they are? Do you get along better with your neighbors or your coworkers who can't understand each other or share no common values? The problem is people who are different in race, language, religion, ethnicity, trying to share the same territory. Look at Great Britain, look at France, look at Sweden. They have massive terror and disorder problems and cultural assimilation problems for one reason. They imported a bunch of people from part of the world that doesn't share their values.
Look at the history of multiracial nation. The history of conflict, the history of distrust, ultimately.
Latin American countries are changing election outcomes here by forcing demographic change on this country to rate the systems they don't want.
It sounds to me like we got a problem with people who got here legally altering the landscape politically. I don't like it. Fuck you. Stop it.
And notice when this change is not happening. Any place our leaders live. They caused all of this with their reckless immigration policy. And yet their own neighborhood is basically unchanged. It looks like it's 1960. No demographic change at all in their zip codes. Our leaders are for diversity, just not where they live.
I find, frankly, the kind of hypocrisy expressed by the alleged champion of diversity to be quite. They themselves can live in a way to insulate themselves from the group of strangers, people that don't speak English, whose religion and culture are drastically.
Hazleton's population was 2% Hispanic. Just 16 years later, Hazleton is majority Hispanic. That's a lot of change. People who grew up in Hazleton return to find out they can't communicate with the people now live there. And that's bewildering for people. That's happening all over the country.
There is a campaign to make European Americans a minority country.
Their goal is to change your country forever, and they're succeeding, by the way.
You're being systematically and deliberately replaced.
You're a beneficiary of white privilege. They hate speaking you because of your membership in a group. It could incite violence.
White privilege, the product university, which is meant to build up a stigma, build up hatred, and potentially pave the way for violence against.
Succinctly, years ago, quote, "It is literally impossible to be racist to a white person." Pretty much the entire left now takes that as a matter of belief that. But what does that mean exactly?
The real racism today is not by white people. It's against white people.
Terrorism may be bad, but raising doubts and multiculturalism. Foreigners come to our countries and kill our people. You'd think our leaders would blame them, but they blame us who live here. They blame our history. They blame our culture, opinions, our religion. It's our fault. That is their core assumption, and you see it in all.
Is that the end of the video?
Yeah.
Hmm.
What do you? Does this change your perspective? Let's just. And these are all things that Tucker
There were a lot of.
He's gonna say cherry picking.
The juke one specifically at the end. I mean, they weren't the same thing at all. And just so you know, I do believe, and I've always thought the idea that you can't be racist to white people would be like a real sort of poisonous ideology in new academia. So you'll probably hate me on that basis, or say I'm stupid on that basis, or whatever. The most troubling part of that video for me, and what Tucker Carlson said, and I understand I hate the whole diversity is not our strength piece. I don't know, you know, what any credible news station is thinking, kind of airing that. But the most troubling part, which again I didn't have it fresh to mind, was the idea of like shifting demographics. You know, I think when you start talking about, oh, the people who grew up there now, it's majority Hispanic. You know,
Here with that National Geographic. Hazelton was at the brink of insolvency as a town. They had fucking rampant crime and no jobs left because I think they were jobs that shipped overseas, like every other fucking Midwestern or Pennsylvanian town, okay? So what happened in Hazelton is the Hispanic population moved in there. There were both undocumented and also documented citizens that moved there. They fucking revitalized the town, and that National Geographic piece was actually talking about how the people that Tucker is referencing in that piece are the people who are like, yeah, no, our town is doing better economically, but like I still hate that there are Hispanics here. So you have to understand that like the reason why Tucker Carlson doesn't show the second part of that, and I watched this whole coverage on it. I watched the Hazelton coverage, just like I watched almost all of these coverages. All of his coverage almost nightly, he does not mention the second part. He does not mention the economic benefits. Could you potentially think that maybe he keeps doing this over and over again, not on accident, but because he is trying to white pill boomers into also? You think there's a shot?
I mean, look, it's a real
question because
because I can't know Tucker Carlson's mind on it. What I can say is, you know, personally, I don't like when you you know, say things like that. I think it's irresponsible. I think
it's irresponsible that I'm saying that a person who's mirroring white
Carlson.
Okay, but it's not irresponsible if you're mirroring white nationalist rhetoric on the post. No, it's not irresponsible. It's devastating, and there's no fucking room for that because it is genuinely divisive. But it's not just divisive; it's also killing people. You understand that, right? Like, there's a reason why hate crime is rising in this country. Why?
Well, we won't get into that.
And it also.
Well, so I mean, you're saying it's intentional. I don't know about that. Unfortunately, for the longest period of time, in the same way that you know, the liberalism, right? And again, I think of myself as liberal. You know, liberalism has an intersection with an extreme fringe of people that, you know, are off the deep end in terms of identity politics. Unfortunately, people on the right, you know, Republicans, conservatives, whatever you want to call them, they have always historically had this intersection with the white nationalist fringe.
Yeah, white nationalism is literally identity. First of all man are.
Yeah, it is exactly that. Yes, I understand.
The only reason why we're not trained, the only reason why we look at politics from the framework of like that normal politics is somehow different than identity politics because it's like more marginalized groups, is because we're trained to think that white is the neutral. We're trained to think that like a white man or things that benefit white men over other people is considered just the neutral position. That's why we are trained to think that politics is totally different. Now, and I would include within my intersectionality argument, I would include class in this as well. And that's why I would say that it's all manner of politics benefits the rich.
Now you're speaking to something that I would 100% agree with you about. I have always seen the great divide to be an economic one rather than you know, a racial one. Obviously,
well, there's definitely material reasons for in our society, especially in American society. Someone earlier, no, but that's but like, look, first of all, you're talking to someone who's a leftist who you probably would improperly frame as like the extreme left, someone who is genuinely a part of the extreme left or the radical left.
I would you. I think there is a lot of kind of hysteria right now, and like, you know, look. This rise of hate crime, this rise of white nationalism is massively overstated. I mean, when they covered that...
Massively overstated. Literally 3 days after fucking 11 Jews were executed at a synagogue, dude. Like, it's massively overstated, dude. One of the worst hate crimes to impact Jewish citizens on U.S. soil. Like, it's just... Like how?
Nice.
All of them as inbred as you would expect.
Yeah, they had to be put exactly because of anti-fascism. They were pushed behind closed doors because of fear of being doxxed, because of fear of being publicly humiliated, and that is collective action at work. So I'm glad that
I don't believe that's the reason.
Do you want to hear Unicorn Riot Discord DMs from active prominent Nazis saying we're not going to fucking go out there because they keep doxing us and because they keep embarrassing us? Because what I'm saying are specific, like Andrew Anglin, for example, talking precisely about why we should not attend Charlottesville this year because of collective action, because of anti-fascism, and because of anti-fascist mobilization that worked last year in a way that they did not even understand. They also ended up killing someone last year. They killed an anti-fascist protester last year. Her name was Heather Heyer. And on top of that, again, on top of that, look. You're talking about how hate crimes are overstated. Literally 5 days after, or has it even been fucking after one of the worst hate crimes that has ever happened, one of the worst anti-Semitic hate crimes that has ever happened in modern U.S. history.
Well, I don't agree with the characterization of Semitic.
Donald Trump doesn't have to literally be an like for. We're not just talking about Donald Trump. You have to understand this. I don't exclusively think all of them.
So why are we addressing the anti-Semitism?
Because the anti-Semitism is a consequence of the alt-right.
I understand the starting point to where we are now. I don't understand how we got here. You know, I came on because you were talking about a video of mine which is pertaining to linguistic control. And again, it's like I say, we're just swerving all over the road. You know, it's not a debate.
I'm the one who fucking shifts the goalpost, dude. It's not him. Like I'm the guy.
Oh shit. Okay, listen. This is so much for me. We can finish this video if you want tomorrow, okay? But I'm fucking dying, okay? I'm pretty tired.
I'm just gonna give you the last part, and you're gonna appreciate the last part because he starts shitting on me and saying like your diet destiny and shit.
Aww.
That's all you need to. Sure. That's all you need to hear. Because like the rest of it is so stupid. Like it's just back and forth over and over again. We don't need to fucking keep going. Anyway, because I got to go back to like election coverage a little bit, but here.
5,000 more troops than we have.
Sure.
Here, I'll listen to it. It's what, like the last like 5 minutes or something? Or?
What?
Okay, here, I got it. I'm starting at 137.46, and I'll listen to it on my stream so I can hear it well, okay?
I don't know where it is. I think.
Oh no, that's fine. I'll listen. I'll tell you.
140 is where I am at. 140.06.
You're at 1.5 speed or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I'll start it. Okay. I'm gonna mute you for a second. Yeah. I'll mute you for a second. I'll listen to it. Hold on one second.
All right.
All right. I'm gonna start.
But that's not just irresponsible, dude. That's not just irresponsible. That's the commander in chief.
Yes, but he didn't say the things you're saying. Like, just keep. I'm saying the criticism stand up if you just stick to the facts. He hasn't issued an order to shoot people. He hasn't said you have the right to shoot people.
What will be the point? What's the point where
statement? If someone throws rocks at us, referring to the videos that were circulating on Twitter today, which his base will have seen, if someone throws a rock at us, we'll shoot them. The same as when he went to a police thing and he said, "Don't be too nice to that guy when you're putting him in the back of the car, bang his head a few times," which is a direct encouragement and tacit approval of police brutality, which is also unbelievably irresponsible and disgusting for an elected official of any stripe to say. But the criticism stands on its own. You don't need to make. I'm here because you saw a video about how we're breaking down language and these things matter, and there's no need to be hyperbolic. That's my point here, and you're doing it, and you can't see that you're doing it.
I'm not being because you're literally because you're fence sitting so fucking hard, dude. You're trying to.
That isn't
dude,
fencing.
Come on, dude. It's ridiculous. Anyway, it's fine. Look, this is not a productive conversation.
It hasn't been. They never are, which is why honestly you shouldn't do them. I understand it makes. I understand it makes for good entertainment or whatever.
No, I don't care about the entertainment aspect. I just genuinely wanted to hear what you were about because you didn't seem like
totally out of your mind. You wanted a debate, and you know, you wanted to get that content. I understand it. I understand the hustle. You know, I wish you all the best for it. But let's not pretend for a second you care about any perspective other than the ones you already believe, because that would also be disingenuous.
What? Okay. I mean, you have no idea what you're talking about, but it's fine.
We've literally gone back and forth for about 20 minutes over something that is inarguably correct. You're saying Donald Trump said this and intends to do this. I have shown you he didn't say that, and there is nothing to suggest he intends to invade this country or start an act of war or kill these immigrants or any of this other stuff that you're imagining. So I don't understand. Like, what could be a better example of that? Of my entire point right from the start. So I hope the whole you know, diet destiny shtick works out for you. I'm sure you're gonna be very successful. There's a market for it, and maybe I'll talk to you at some point in the future. You know, always around.
Okay. All right. Thanks, man. Thank you so much.
No worries. Best luck with the trip. Take care.
Jesus. Oh my God. Okay. That was something.
Damn, savage.
Fucking wrecked me, dude. Fucking wrecked me, dude.
Okay.
Absolutely wrecked me, dude. It's over.
You, dude. All right.
He got me, dude.
I love you, buddy. Good luck with your election coverage. I'm going to sleep, okay?
All right, go to sleep, dude. Yeah. And we'll talk later.
Yeah, thanks for everybody. Peace out.
All right.